just like handled by one department. It has multiple departments, multiple agencies have to work together. Entire whole of society and whole of a government has to work together. So with that intention, a dedicated mission has been launched. In fact, this has been launched way back in 2022, especially after our Meghalaya state has got the 50 years of the celebration. So as part of this mission, one, we are bringing everyone together, and we also actually taken this as a priority. We really wanted to achieve this problem. So for that, there is a mobilizing not only all the departments, but also making sure that we are taking steps in all directions. So one of the important thing is that while actually we have to support, especially the people who are affected due to drug use, but we also have to take very serious steps to prevent the drug use. So prevention has been actually taken as a priority, and a lot of this is like this entire celebration of today is also one of those things that, like, looking at that rap song is also one of the things. How do we actually prevent the drug use, because which is spreading not only in Meghalaya, the whole world is suffering. It's something that it's a global problem. It is not just a problem of Meghalaya or anywhere. So it's something that one, prevention. To do the prevention, we are actually doing systematically two things. One, how do we actually, especially again systems effort. One, how do you actually educate children, especially high school children from class 9 onwards? How do you actually really get that education? So we have taken this Navchetana. There is one systematic modules which are actually introduced in the schools, where the teachers are actually trained to identify the vulnerable students and support them, and to see that we are actually preventing. They also will talk to the parents to understand how actually they can support, and they can actually support in the prevention of this drug use. This is one part. Then the second thing, we also there is one project in a World Bank assistance. It's called Empower. This is Empower project. Is again through this. This is again we're creating a positive youth development. So if you really invest in positive youth development, the youth will never actually get into this substance use. So that's again, how do you actually engage students, even off the schools, even immediately after the schools, they can go to a CM youth center, they can actually play. So a lot of things. And also in every week there is one session, Empower session in the schools. Every week, one session, so where life skills are taught, because life skills are very, very important. How do you build confidence? How do you build purpose? How do you build aspirations? How do you build resilience? So life skills are a very, very important thing. So that's again very systematically, these steps are being taken up. So this is again one part on the prevention. On part of rehabilitation, again, whatever it takes. In fact, this is one program I'm seeing. In fact, if any community is coming up, at least one center should be there, in every place. So already, we used to have 14 centers, rehabilitation centers, and now actually we are adding another 10 through the dream missions. This is almost every month we have a review with our honorable CM. He always asks what we have done on this. So that's again a lot of with sense of urgency we are trying to do, and a lot of organizations come. Yesterday I was there in William Nagar. There is one faith organization has come forward. In fact, there is one MGCC government building, old building. They immediately converting them into a rehab center. So there is a huge participation. Everyone is coming forward to really take up this one. And we could see, in fact, even in Bada Bazaar, there is one Samaritan group is working. They actually counseled about 180 people, and 35 people they have actually recommended them for the for the rehabilitation care. So there is a whole of society, whole of a government is working on rehabilitation. Here again, we require a lot of community support. People actually come to the community. In fact, again, there should not be, as said, that like no stigma. We should really work with a lot of compassion and care. I think that actually is being brought in here by engaging a lot of the community institutions, faith institutions. It's so important for us. In fact, this is a topic all the Rangbashnongs and the darbars and the villages are actually talking, on how actually we can really support and do these things, in a very effective way. So this is the second thing. The third one is the how do you actually regulation? How do we actually strengthen our regulation? Because we are in a zone, we are in a golden triangle, they call it, in the drug trafficking. How do we actually stop it? So again, it requires police has been taking enormous proactive steps. I think they are actually catching, burning, and you understand like how much actually effort is being done by them, and they also require a lot of support. That's why the VDPs are being strengthened, and now we are also coming up with one idea of student police cadet, which was done in Kerala. So that's something that our MD went and he saw that one, and maybe the police also will initiate student police cadet, so that like there is a more coordination between the young people and the police in terms of actually regulation. So these are some of the things that actually the state has been doing. I think I will hear more from our chief guest about what actually we are going to do, but I would like to wish everyone that I think we should continue these efforts, and this is something that everyone is looking at it. In fact, I'm just telling you, one of my colleagues who worked earlier here in Meghalaya, he's in Haryana. He says that like every other day they see one death. So due to drug substance thing. So it's like in one district where he's working. So he's and they are looking for fact when they looked at who is doing the more systematic and innovative work, they found Meghalaya. So they're asking like how actually this what is this dream mission is being done. So my point is that like we're already the state has done a very very, because we're working together in a collaborative way. We're all working together on this particular mission. So I think that gives tremendous hope that we will be able to overcome and create a good model not only for the state but the whole country. With these few words, I would like to thank everyone, and Kublai Shibun and Mithila. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those insightful remarks and for setting the tone for today's observance. To further highlight the initiatives and interventions being undertaken across the state, we will now watch a short video presentation by the Social Welfare Department and DREAM. May I request the technical team to kindly play the video presentation.
For 3 years, DREAM has continued to strengthen prevention, rehabilitation, and community support across the state, bringing together government agencies, institutions, communities, and citizens in a shared mission.
Since the launch of DREAM in 2023, Meghalaya has taken bold steps towards becoming a drug-free state. As the only state in India with a dedicated mission against substance abuse, we have expanded treatment and rehabilitation facilities, strengthened prevention programs, introduced technology-driven support systems, and enhanced community participation in the fight against drugs.
Recovery is not the end of the journey, it is the beginning of a new one. Through DREAM, rehabilitation centers across Meghalaya are being strengthened through partnerships with ITI, MSSDS, and other vocational institutions, helping individuals rebuild their lives through skills, training, and meaningful opportunities. Today, rehabilitation support has expanded from 9 centers to 14 centers, with 4 additional centers underway. Through DREAM, counseling, awareness, and outreach programs continue to reach communities, schools, and faith institutions across the state. Together with partners including ITI, BIDS, DBTS, and MSSDS, DREAM is creating pathways towards recovery, rehabilitation, reintegration, and renewed hope.
Teng jonga di khawborani teng songsa ha mlika long mchwa bang di khna bang langop ha drugs kumbang ai kendu gini sia ki ding bang dream ayu ki ai ki training ba pair nyo ka certificate tu te long ta kan sok ni phi ba pin apply ki ni kam te ba khadu sai siam pan ayu iblai te ka ba karpang ka new hope di addiction center ka bala ya rap shibu dinga te abang awan ni yo sipun ki bentoy mar men kani bang la don ni ru tu la long kom volunteer ki ai kam na ne kan ki ai kam na bulan.
The fight against substance abuse is a shared responsibility through awareness campaigns, bike rallies, roadshows, counseling, workshops, vocational training, rehabilitation programs, and opportunities for reintegration. DREAM continues to empower individuals and strengthen communities across Meghalaya, because every life restored strengthens a family. Every family strengthened builds a community, and every community united brings us closer to a drug-free Meghalaya.
Anga gini rehabilitation center ang ci donga ha bewal rehab promoter sekian ko mana ha kunu nambah ha serangan dau evisu inung ecem drug evisu inung ecem warang na nam gapa chol donga maina no ba dream project ni kata nama initiative rang ko rabah ha government of Meghalaya through social welfare ni through kata gemna jerangan evisu ecem wani through nasong dakchakani ko mangen yang vocational training rang ko ba ranak ta mangen tuni jongapa no gapa ada tang abitang gemuk ko anseng jerangan fikir dong drugs abuse ngirong ecem wa ganja abuse ngirong ecem warang ko mbayam na anseng dream project ni kata bisong na nama bupati ko nakta mangen anga government of Meghalaya aro social welfare department longin maintenance ka aro ya ko anan si angni aganin ko bunat tela.
Substance dependence is a health issue, not a moral failing. If drugs destroy lives, stigma destroys hope. Recovery begins with compassion, understanding, and support. Together, let us build a Meghalaya where seeking help is an act of courage. Recovery is celebrated, and every individual is given the opportunity to heal, rebuild, and live with dignity.
Thank you so much for the inspiring video. And the word that comes to my head this morning is all about change, change, and change. And I really don't know how relevant is this quote by Mother Teresa. She says, if you want to change the world, just go home and love your family. That's all. Okay, it's a beautiful quote by Mother Teresa. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our honor to introduce the Center of Evolution. It has been established as a dedicated rehabilitation center to provide structured care and support for individuals affected by substance abuse. May I now respectfully invite Dr. Thailen Panbo, President of Limpung, Ki Sengkantay, to elaborate further on the Center of Evolution. Ma'am. Sorry for the... Thank you so much.
Good morning, respected Chief Guests, Honorable Chief Minister Sir, Shri Conrad Sangma, Guests of Honor, Paul Lingdo, and Advisor to Social Welfare Department, all the dignitaries, officials, and invitees from all the different departments, and dear friends, colleagues, good morning, and really glad to be given this opportunity to present something which the Health Department. Our department consists of 3 directorates, and the 3 directorates together have come together as a joint directorate committee. And we know that there's a problem. There's a health problem, sir had already said in the video. It's a health problem, the epidemic issue. And we have in collaboration with members of different addiction recovery groups, the directorate and the recovery groups, and through this project, through the active support of our then principal secretary and now additional secretary, who's been pushing us and giving us sound advice, additional chief secretary Sir Sampat Kumar. We are finally reached on this day. So we are very happy to say that in a few days we will be operationalizing. This will come into operation at Reed Provincial Chest Hospital, Mauprem. It's a 25-bedded facility, the Center for Evolution. And it is a center where healing is being carried out by those who have healed. For once, doctors, we have stepped back, we've let our ego aside, and we are opening our mind to different methods of treatment of this dreadful disease of addiction. And so we have looked at the substance abuse. It's an epidemic. And we have looked at victims of substance abuse, but we've always forgotten that it's also the family that actually suffers a lot too. Initially, it's all about denial. How's your son? How's your daughter? Oh, how's your uncle? They're sick. They're having cold, cough, not well. But we are just aggravating the problem. And later when things go haywire, then the cover-up happens. Then, the family members themselves becomes the victims. They become co-dependents, like we call it. And the whole family now suddenly suffers from it. So it's not an individualistic disease, it's a family disease, and sometimes it affects the entire community. And from the health department's point of view, we have realized that, okay, there's medication which can help for detox. There's medication that can do things, but there's certain things which was beyond our reach. People can come to hospitals and get detoxed and then go out, and in 4-5 months time, they're back to where they are. They require something divine intervention. And through our active, very close coordination with different members of the recovery groups in Shillong, we have founded this center. And this center will specifically be run by those who have been in recovery for a period long time. They have been in the darkness, and they're now in the light of sobriety. Now the dots that connect to is how did they do it? How did they go? Where did they do it? And what's all this? Sometimes we don't know, but they do know. So we are trying to integrate a camaraderie where you will pull those in darkness and bring them into the light. So this center. We are actually opening it only for the citizens of Meghalaya, and it is compulsory for each and every beneficiary who wants to be part of this project, but admitted in this facility, has to undergo detoxification at Shillong Civil Hospital. Then after that, they'll be taken to MIMHANS for psychiatric evaluation, and if they consider it. And also, when they're in detoxification phase, we have those. We are in the process of recruiting. Recoveries, counselors in recoveries, and together with a psychiatrist, they will identify a lot of our people who are suffering, those who still suffer, the one main important most criteria, which is the burning desire to stop and stay stopped. That is the criteria. And from what I've read in the literature, it says it's only a few who get into this program that we actually, the choice is actually yours. So, and once they're in the center, we feel like those who have family support are more important, because ultimately the aftercare, the support structure has to be there. So it's very important that we have to take this into consideration. And in this center, we are not going to provide any form of opioid substitution therapy or any form of oral substitution therapy. It is a center for where you want to stay stopped and remain stopped forever. So, the key approaches, one of the key approaches is cognitive behavior therapy. So what we've realized is most of us who are in substance abuse, there's so much of negativity in your thoughts. There's no positivity. So how to bring that? We have to take off the trash and bring in something great. And motivational therapy, there are those who are in recovery for 10, 15 years. They will come and handhold those who are still struggling. Tell them about how they did it, how their lives are blooming now. Give them that source of inspiration and motivation that's very much needed. Relapse and prevention, there are always triggers. The 4 things that I was told was hunger, anger, loneliness, tiredness. But it's more elaborated. I think those in recovery will actually elaborate on this in the center. And the most important thing is the therapeutic duty assignment, which I'll talk about it later. Therapeutic duty assignment. This plays a very critical point in your healing process. But the center of all this is the 12-step recovery program. We have based it on this 12-step recovery program. So I'll be elaborating on that again. And we will be addressing trauma care. And a lot of us have maybe in our childhood or maybe in some point in time of our lives, had some hidden trauma that could have precipitated our way towards addiction. That has to be found. And it is they themselves who have to find it in this center. The center is all about self-discovery. And we'll also be having yoga and meditation and all that. So what is this 12-step program? So the first step, there are 12 steps in it. I'll just give a brief of it. The first step is the most important step. It's honesty. It is so easy to say, yes, I'm a drug addict, yes, I'm an alcoholic. But to really accept that you're a drug addict and you're an alcoholic and you're actually under the control of some substance, that your life is totally under the control of that substance, is something totally different. The first step is if you're really honest with yourself. If you really feel that you've been under the grip and total control of the substance, that's your first step of healing. And then what happens when you accept? There is hope. Some have divine intervention, some have some form of higher power. We need that. That's what will be taught here. And later on, what do you do when you want to heal? You have to let go of the pain. So when you let go of the pain is, you have to write it down. Moral inventory, your story before addiction, in addiction, and what you're going to do now. And at the same time, you will find in your stories where you write, what are your defects, what are your shortcomings? And you'll also go about writing all the people that you had harmed in your addictive addiction. Your family members, your mother, your father, your children, your wife, your kids, everyone that you had harmed, you'll put down the list, your best friends, your teachers, whoever. And in the process, you will go and seek forgiveness. It's called making amends. And having had some form of health, some spiritual awakening, or for some matter of you're free from getting some freedom from your addiction, your next duty is to spread the message to others who are still suffering. But all these 12 steps have to be done on a daily basis. For an addict, it's one day at a time, sir. Today, you have to focus on staying away. Yesterday is gone. Cannot think about it. Tomorrow, we will think about tomorrow when tomorrow arrives. But for today, no. One day at a time. So, and we're not just going to keep them in this, have them have recreational activities. And what we're going to do here is, firstly, it's going to be very different. Yoga and meditation in the morning. We need spiritual and physical healing. So on top of that, there'll be reading sessions. Reading sessions is to know about the disease. Some of them don't know they have the disease, so they take it as their fault that they're addicted. But it's a disease. World Health Organization has already classified it as a disease. But the blame game always goes into the addict. I think all family members say, he doesn't have the willpower, or she doesn't have the willpower. It's not the willpower, it's a disease. We have to help each other. And in this also, we will be having the therapeutic duty assignment. Therapeutic duty assignment here means household chores. They will clean, they will wash the place, they will clean the clothes. This is about teaching them to get some self-esteem, how to take care of themselves. Let's face facts, they never took care of themselves when they were in active addiction. Now, the center, yes, we will help, but outside is the real battle. They will learn how to take care of themselves, how to love themselves. The most important thing is they'll be taught how to love themselves. If you love yourself, you'll take care of yourself and you'll avoid relapses. And then there'll be input sessions, which there's a full book, it's called the Big Book, which will be taught to them. And this is where they'll discover what the disease is all about. And there's a work paper where they'll have to work it out and then discover what they don't know about themselves. What was the hidden pain and the triggers that they have inside them. And something can be done about it together along with the counselors. And also, we're looking at moral inventory, daily moral inventory, because they have to know what is their thoughts, what is their actions, and what's the emotions. Are they aligned? And throughout the day and night before they go to sleep, they will be meditating, thanking God for thanking anyone or appreciating themselves for being away from that substance for today, and asking for strength for the next day to be away again from the substance. So it's a one day at a time program. We're trying to imbibe this. This is going to be taught. Habit always develops in 21 days. We're keeping them for 40 days. So we're hoping that by 40 days, they'll be more than active and spread the message to others who are still suffering. And of course, Saturdays, we'll be having family therapies. Sunday will be an off day for them to self-reflect on themselves. So before I go any further, because I've come to the end of the slide, we know this is something which is very new. And we don't know, like the first step says, honesty. Honestly, we don't know whether it'll be a success or whether we'll fail, but there is hope. And when there's hope, we feel we can look at something. Now, step 4 and 5 says shortcomings and mistakes. There will be mistakes, there will be challenges. And we are open to ideas and innovations. We're open to everyone telling us what we are wrong at and how we're running the center. We're open to it because we cannot be perfect. It's not a receipt for success. We are going to see through how it runs. And for that, we need your active support and guidance also in that matter. So I request everyone to actually support us and join us in this great journey of evolution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sri Arwan, for that truly inspiring and insightful presentation on the Center of Evolution. We truly believe on the mission and vision of the center, and we wish you all the very best. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now proceed with the presentation of token checks to partner organizations that continue to play an important role in prevention, rehabilitation, recovery, and community outreach efforts across the state. May I now request our Honorable Chief Minister to kindly present the token checks. I also request Shri Timothy D. Shira, along with Shri Paul Lingdo, Dr. Sampath Kumar, Shri Praveen Bakshi, Srimati Saloni Verma, Shri Francis Karshiing, to kindly join the Honorable Chief Minister on stage for the presentation ceremony. First off, we would like to begin with the presentation of token checks to the 4 newly supported rehabilitation centers. I would like to invite the representative from Achik Welfare Society, Tura. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause? Next up, we have the Bridge Society in Nongstoin, Khasi Jaintia Presbyterian Assembly, Jowai, and Dream Solace, a Center for Hope and Recovery, Shillong, which will be managed by the Meghalaya Users Forum. A big round of applause for all the organizations. We shall now present a token check to Lamti Foundation Lightcore, an existing rehabilitation center that has recently received sanctioned support. Congratulations to all the recipient organizations. We thank them for their dedication and continued support. I request our dignitaries to kindly take their seats. Thank you so much. Do we have the Meghalaya's Users Forum, yes. We would also like to present the award to the KGP Center. KGP Center. Thank you so much. I request the dignitaries to kindly take their seats.
No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. We now move to the presentation of certificates to our recovery champions. In recognition of your strength, resilience, and commitment to recovery, through your determination to overcome substance dependence and your dedication to leading a healthy and purposeful life, you have become an inspiration to others and a symbol of hope within the community. Your journey demonstrates that recovery is possible and that every individual has the capacity to rebuild their life with dignity, courage, and purpose. May I request Paul Lingdo, the Honorable Advisor to the Social Welfare Department, to kindly grace the stage to present the awards to the recovery champions, and I would read out their names. First and foremost, recovery champion, it's an honor and privilege to call him on stage, Shri M. Bhalang Marbanyang. Shri M. Bhalang Marbanyang, followed by Shri Fairness Kalla, Shri Walambha Maulong. A round of applause to the Recovery Champions Award. Shri Albinius Nongsiang, Shri Kelvin Purbot, Shri Kelvin Purbot, and may I invite Shri Nico Francis, Shri Bante Lakyang, Shrimati Magdalene Warba. Shrimati Magdalene Warba, followed by another recovery champion, Shri Yengskem Milliam Umlong, to be followed by Shri Savio Nonglang, Shri Kraubor Rani, Shri Pinshailang Karwanyang, Kumari Ivinia Marthong, Shri Marvin B. Warjiri, Shri Herbert Im, last but not the least, Shri Davidson Shulai.
Congratulations to all the recovery champions. Can we have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you, sir, very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, next up we have the Community Champions Award that goes to the Village Defense Party, VDP of Thatmut Longsi, under the leadership of its president, Shri Firstborn Sari, along with its dedicated members who have rendered valuable assistance to traffic checkpoint in the detection and seizure of 512 grams of heroin from a vehicle transporting the narcotic consignment on 28th September 2025. I request Dr. Sampath Kumar, IAS Additional Chief Secretary to the Government of Meghalaya, to kindly present this award. The award goes to the Village Defence Party of Thatmutlong C, under the leadership of its President Shri Frisbon Sari. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause? Thank you so much, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, next the Outreach and Impact Award in recognition of your outstanding contribution towards substance abuse prevention through innovative community outreach, awareness initiatives and sustained public engagement. Through your dedication, leadership and commitment to empowering individuals and communities, your efforts have fostered greater awareness, strengthened resilience, inspired positive action and contributed significantly to building safer, healthier and drug-free communities. I humbly request Shri Praveen Bakshi, IAS, Commissioner and Secretary to the Government Meghalaya Social Welfare Department, to kindly present the first 6 awards to these awardees. And the next 6 awardees, I would request Shri Francis Kharshe, retired IPS, Mission Director Dream, Meghalaya Shillong, to present the awards. I call out the list of awardees. Okay, I beg your pardon, there's a small change. First, it's the Bosco Integrated Development Society, Shillong. Followed by the Industrial Training Institute, Shillong. Don Bosco Youth Center, Shillong. Thank you, sir. I beg your pardon. I would have invited Shri Timothy D. Shira, sir, if you can grace the stage and hand over these Outreach and Impact Awards. To be after Don Bosco Technical School, Shillong, we would request Helping Hands International NGO, Resabel Para. Japang NGO, Tura. Helping Hands International NGO, Resabel Para. Japang NGO, Tura. Morning Football Club, Tura. Sengkantay Nongra. Morning Football Club, Tura. Sengkantay Nongra. Thank you, sir, for doing the honors. We humbly request you to kindly take your seat. Thank you, sir, Timothy D. Shira. Yes, as I had named earlier, Sir Francis Kharshe, IPS retired, to kindly do the honors and give away the awards to the Outreach and Impact Awards. So next, we would request on stage the Dorbar Shnong Nongra. A round of applause to these awardees, to be followed by Urban Mission KGP Synod Nongston. Followed by Good Samaritan Society cum Counseling Center, Shillong. Last but not the least, Sengkantay Catholic, Shillong. Thank you very much, sir. You can kindly take your seat. Thank you very much.
Up next, we have the prize distribution for the best drawing and most likes. In recognition of your creativity, imagination, and commitment to spreading awareness against substance abuse through the theme Break the Cycle #Stop Organized Crime, your artwork has effectively communicated a message of hope, prevention, and positive change, inspiring others to work towards a safer and drug-free future. May I request Srimati Saloni Verma, IAS Director, Social Welfare Department, to kindly present the awards. First off, we have the best drawing that goes to Hapila Aithihun Nongsage. And the award for most likes goes to Prisia Momin.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the important part of the program, we now move to the inauguration of the Recovery Track Portal. May I now respectfully invite our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Conrad K. Sangma, to formally inaugurate the Recovery Track Portal by pressing the ceremonial launch button. Ladies and gentlemen,
End-to-end encrypted digital monitoring and recovery management system designed for rehabilitation centers and government hospitals in Meghalaya to streamline patient care, protect data privacy, and ensure transparent recovery tracking. A centralized, secure digital platform designed for unified patient recovery monitoring across Meghalaya. This platform bridges the gap between various care facilities, creating a single source of truth for a patient's recovery journey. A real-time interactive dashboard that aggregates and displays data from all empaneled rehabilitation centers and government hospitals. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Let us proceed with the next segment. Over to you.
thank you very much, Shraddha. We now move to the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding. The Memorandum of Understanding will be signed between the Social Welfare Department, DREAM, and Sewa Inland Tura. May we request the representatives of the respective organizations to kindly come forward for the signing ceremony. The Memorandum of Understanding will be signed between the Social Welfare Department, DREAM, and Sewa Inland Tura. I think we consider this as a historic occasion on this very August day. Can we have a round of applause? Thank you very much. We will now have the token check presentation to Sewa Inland Tura. I would request our Honorable Chief Minister to kindly do the honors, sir. If you can kindly grace the stage and present the check presentation to Sewa Inland Tura. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you and congratulations to all stakeholders. involved in this important collaboration.
It is our honor to invite Shri Paul Lingdo, Honorable Advisor to the Social Welfare Department, Government of Meghalaya, to address the gathering.
Good morning, friends. Our esteemed chief guest and the Chief Minister of the State, Mr. Conrad K. Sangma, Mr. Timothy D. Shira, Senior Member of the Cabinet, my colleagues in the State Assembly, Renek Tan, Bjorn, Soon, Dr. Sampath Kumar, Additional Chief Secretary, who has been proactively at the forefront of various initiatives, including DREAM, Francis G. Karshiying, Mission Director DREAM, Mr. Aditya, IG CID, members of the civil society, NGOs, ki dot pasnongkat ki balak penyedon ringkat hakani ke step, members of the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody has said, hold fast to dreams. For if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Today, 3 years down the line, I am happy to say that DREAM is just not an acronym in the dictionary of the government of Meghalaya, but that we have gone a long way to proactively address the challenges of drug and narcotics trade and addiction in our state. Of course, as the saying goes, the biggest room in this world is the room for self-improvement. But I am happy to see that through our convergence, coordination, and conversation between the important line departments, we are inching close to what we aspire and have dreamed. Today, I can cite the example of an area I'm most familiar with, the West Shillong constituency. 2 Dorbar Shnongs of Nong Sopo Apomoprem, who have faced the brunt of trafficking for years together, have come up together to form the Village Defense Party, get themselves registered with the police department, and the volunteers, including the Kongs, are actively patrolling their locality every single day. One of the kingpins of drug trafficking in the area is today behind bars under PITS and DPS. But more than that, the area I live in, Lower Mauprem, where clusters of young people would sit around and indulge in sniffing and other activities, 98% of them have moved to the futsal ground where they play football till 11 p.m. That is the story of transformation that we have been able to bring. I'm proud to say that just last week, I had conversations with Francis. I had conversations with the SPANTF, and I could see that determination very clearly in their demeanor. And this raises confidence that with the Chief Minister proactively leading the team, we will prevail. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Somebody has mentioned, I think it was Dr. Sampath, who mentioned about the Golden Triangle that we are close to. On our east, we have the Golden Triangle, Myanmar and its Golden Triangle. And on the west, we have the Golden Crescent, both of which are hotspots that nurture and make narcotics trade not just another business, but the survival mode. But we belong to Meghalaya, which also has the golden ladder, Kajiki and Ksiara. The golden ladder of Meghalaya has survived British colonialism, has survived the partition. We have survived the Indo-Chinese War. We have survived hegemony by our largest state. And why can't we survive something which in comparison, it's much less in dimension and size? But friends, I'd like to say this and put this forward before the leader of the team, our Honorable Chief Minister, that there is need for us to ensure that we tighten up where convergence and coordination is concerned. Because the fight is multi-pronged, and we need the various departments, the Department of Social Welfare, Home Police, Health, Education, Civil Society, to all come on one and single page. Our youths are a source of energy. Like a river that flows with huge potential and energy, that river can be utilized to generate electricity. But if not guided properly, that river can destroy all the crops and all the lands around it. Therefore, let us channelize properly. Today, I believe that apart from addressing the various issues and problems, it is also important, and I think we are on the right track, diverting our youthful energy into music and sports. Nothing can make a person high as music and sports. Let us keep that message, spread it around, and make sure that Meghalaya emerges a victor and never a victim. Thank you. Kubleshibun Mitala.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request your attention to the screen as we present a special anti-drug message from Rich Balang Kharshieng. He is a JEE Advanced 2026 topper who secured All India ranking 2626 and ST rank 15. Please join us in welcoming his message.
This is my message to all the youth out there. On the occasion of International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, I urge each and every one of you to stay away from drugs and any form of substance abuse. Youths are the strength, hope, and future for our nation. Your dreams, talents, and potentials are too valuable to be destroyed by these addictions. Drugs may appear attractive for a moment, but they lead to serious physical, mental, social, and emotional consequences. They rob individuals of their health, happiness, relationships, and their ambitions. The strongest person is not the one who gives in to peer pressure, but the one who has the courage to say no to these addictions. Choose a life filled with purpose, education, health, and happiness over these harmful influences. If you or someone you know is struggling with these substance abuse, do not hesitate to ask for help. Ask it from your parents, teachers, counselors, or trusted adult. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. Let us all pledge today to build a drug-free society where every young person can grow, succeed, and spread awareness, support those in need, and create a healthier and brighter future. Say no to drugs and say yes to life. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Rich Palang for that truly inspiring message. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our distinct honor and privilege to invite Shri Conrad K. Sangma, Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya, to address the gathering. It will also be followed by the administration of the pledge. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Our respected Minister for Tourism, Shri Timothy Dishira, our advisor to the Social Welfare Department, and my dear friend, Paul Lingdo, our advisor to the Home Police Department, Renington Tonkar Lingdo, all my colleague MLAs who are present out here today, all our officials from different departments, different stakeholders in this entire mission that we have in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. At the very outset, I would like to thank each and every one of you for taking your time and being part of this very, very important program that we are having today. I also would like to thank all of you, not just for attending the program today, which is very easy, I should say. I thank you for the countless days and hours that you have spent in your own way to make this mission a success, to be able to touch different lives of individuals who are struggling, to be able to make a difference in their lives and in the lives of their family members, and do your bit to help our society, our people, and our state to become better, to move forward in a positive direction. And no effort is small. Every single effort that is put into this very, very difficult problem that we are facing is something that adds to the larger objective that we all are trying to achieve. I also thank Social Welfare Department
for the wonderful work, the Dream Mission, our coordinator and director and others, for having made this mission into a movement where all different sections of society are being brought together. And that is really what the purpose was. I'm also thankful to social welfare for a very small reason, which I want to share. I've been very, very particular about this for many years, but nobody follows it like it happens in government departments normally. So I told them that, it's very embarrassing for me to be felicitated in my own house. So please don't felicitate me in my programs, because it's like having a program, calling the guest, and then after that felicitating yourself in your own house, because this is a government program. So the least we can do and we should do is felicitate somebody who's come here for the program. And therefore, we've been starting this program or this system of ensuring that whoever the chief guest may be, which again is very sad, the chief guest should be one of you actually, because again, we are hosting this program. But again, we cannot change everything in one go. So we'll start with the basic thing of ensuring, and I've requested all departments, I've requested all ministers. In fact, an order is going to come out very soon. We'll be requesting all the departments, or rather ordering all departments, that please ensure that in the future, the ministers concerned, the officials concerned, should felicitate the guests who come to the program. So it was very nice. We felicitated 3 very, very senior people in our society. And this is something that I really feel good about. It's a small achievement for me in one way, because as I said, I've been trying to do this for the last 3 years, but it doesn't work. But today it has worked. Having said that, I think all the speakers who spoke before me have, I think, clearly stated, why we are trying to do what we are trying to do in this Dream Mission. And as mentioned by our additional Chief Secretary, there are challenges when it came to drugs and the overall issue of addiction is basically the aspect of coordination, as correctly mentioned by our advisor. There is actually efforts being made at every level, whether it is at a family, whether it is small organizations, whether it's a community, locality, or whether it's the departments that we have. And these efforts were all working in silos. Everybody is doing their own part, struggling with what they are doing, achieving small, maybe, goals, but always finding themselves alone in one way. And therefore, the Dream Mission is nothing but bringing all of these stakeholders and individuals and organizers together. And that is why this program was created. And we also realized that while we bring everybody together, it is also important to not just bring and just talk, but also act. And come up with real steps, come up with real support, which government should do. And that's why it took some time. I must admit that. It's not that we could do everything in one go, because we were also learning as we went along. And everybody was getting used to this whole concept of meeting together, working together. But today, we all are at least here. And as I said, we are slowly and steadily seeing that government is supporting different individuals, supporting different organizations with concrete steps, with funds. And we are all working towards the same mission and the same goal. And therefore, this mission, as correctly mentioned by Mr. Sampath, this is a model that I'm sure many other states are going to look at and study carefully. We are very happy that Meghalaya has, though a very small state, and a state which has struggled with a lot of issues with governance in the past, today slowly and steadily is coming out with multiple models of implementation at different levels. Whether you talk of the Dream Mission, whether you talk of the early childhood development programs, whether you talk of the adolescence program through Empower, whether it's the implementation of externally aided projects, whether it's the implementation of different schemes at the national level from Finance Ministry or other departments, there is a certain level of capacity that has improved, a certain vision that we have been able to create, and certain momentum that we have created by bringing all different stakeholders together to work towards that particular mission. And hence, I'm happy that Dream has also worked in that line. And I'm sure all of you are experts in this field, much more than me, because you actually work at the grassroots. You are dealing with the real problem. We are here trying to understand it and trying to support all of you. And that's why we felt very strongly that this is a very important program and meeting, because we are here to tell all of you just two things. Number one, we're here to thank you for what you're doing. And number two, we are here to support you in whatever way possible. And also, we want to listen from you to tell us that maybe something is going wrong or something is going right and what you could suggest to us. And therefore, right after I speak and after we go ahead with this pledge, and that's why I will not speak much, I want to listen to at least three of you. So I'll give three people a chance. I would love to give more. It's like a mini CM Connect, which I always do. I think this is maybe the most appropriate platform to actually listen. So I would like to just give three people a chance. Maybe if our director could just work out quickly who are the three people you would like to choose, or maybe you can just put up your hands and I will just randomly pick. Not now. We just wait. Let me finish my speech. So once I'm done with my speech, then I'll just ask some of you to just raise your hands, and then we'll, if you have suggestions, if you have complaints, if you have questions, then you can always give it. Maybe this would be a perfect platform to do that. So I would like to listen to what you have to say. So therefore, as I said, I will not speak much. I congratulate Bakarshan for the wonderful work that he has been doing. I've reviewed the Dream Mission a number of times, and I've seen the kind of work that he has been doing. It's not just him, obviously, the entire team of Dream Mission. It's not easy because you're starting from scratch. There's no, menu or a SOP that's set for you. You have to create your own SOPs. And that sometimes is the most exciting part and sometimes most difficult part. So therefore, it's a process, it's a movement. It will take time, and we will move along, and we will learn, and we will adapt. But we will not give up. That's the important part. So that's what is important, and I'm happy, as I said, and I hope that we will continue to work in this line. And the technical aspects, I don't want to get into, because we always discuss the technical aspects in our internal meetings, because there are a lot of challenges that are there. So we are working towards that. But as I said, I'm sure through the different sessions that we have, we'll be able to come out with that. But I just want to suggest to our Dream Mission, our director, which of course I will do more in the internal meetings that we have, that at the end of the day, we have to figure out how we can involve the common people in this movement. Until that doesn't happen, it's not going to have the kind of desired impact we want. Because if you're just with the stakeholders, then it's not a movement. It's not a revolution or a movement that we're talking about. So we have to figure out how we can connect. How we can connect the people, a common person who may not be in any way related to drug or drug menace or whatever the programs that are happening, but be able to then say that, look, can I be a part of this? Can I become, this is something that does concern me in one way or the other. And therefore, it could be through simple things like theme songs, It could be, different awareness programs at the grassroots level where you involve common people. So I've always seen that, I learned from football and from politics also. When there is a theme song of a political party or there's a theme song of a football team, it really, creates the buzz more, and common people tend to connect to that. So that's something I feel we should do apart from all the technical work that we're doing. And I was very impressed, as I said, to hear about the Center of Evolution that was there. I remember Dr. Sampath had suggested that we should send a team. They went to South America. They went to Colombia, if I can remember. How many people went? Yes, 6. So we had funded a program where we had sent about 6 members from our government team to Colombia to study what happened there and to adapt the models and bring them. And that's the result of what we're seeing today. And that's the Center of Evolution that has come up. And, I want to say something very, very, and be very candid today about this whole subject. And I think the Center of Evolution is not just for people who are into substance abuse, if you ask me, because it's really actually a way of life. If you look at addiction, all of us are addicted to something or the other. Let's be very fair and blunt about that. And, we tend to look at an alcoholic, or we tend to look at a drug addict and make up our judgments and mindset to place that person in a particular level because the person is addicted to alcohol or to drugs. But addiction hits everybody. I'm sure that 99% of us out here who are just sitting in this room, 99% of us are addicted to our mobile phones. And I'm telling you, it's really something that's worrying. And I'll tell you, I don't keep my mobile phones with me when I'm in programs or in meetings because I can't work. And it's difficult. Because whether it's the messages that are coming in, which may be important, which of course sometimes are very important, because of the addiction that you have, for no reason you'll open up Insta, for no reason you'll open up the website or Safari or Chrome or whatever you're using, and for no reason you will check the same news page which you have just checked 10 minutes back, because that's what addiction is all about. And you just end up going back and back, and you realize that you have seen ndtv.com 100 times the same day, or you're going through Insta and you don't even know what you're looking for. And most probably you've already affected something in your life, in your family, because your daughter or your son was trying to talk to you, whereas to give that time to your son and daughter to talk to them when they're talking something important, you actually have your mobile phone and you're going through Insta and you're going, and you're doing that. So, I think addiction is a issue that relates to everyone, is what I'm trying to say. And that addiction could be, as I said, a mobile phone, could be shopping, could be, just wasting your time doing things. I think at the end of the day, what Center of Evolution, which again is trying to do, is trying to simplify things for life. And I think if you look at the 12 steps, I was going through it. And, I was able to connect, I'll tell you very frankly, to it. And I could actually see, and I was like, because again, I'm also like trying to get away from this mobile addiction, because I realized that, if I have the mobile phone in the cabinet meeting, apart from the fact that I get calls during cabinet meeting, I had a very funny incident. I don't know if you know this, but I'll share this today with you. So I was in a cabinet meeting, and there was a phone call that came in. And it was one of my old workers from one of the old constituencies earlier, my first constituency. And he kept calling me. And I didn't pick up, of course, because I was in a cabinet meeting and I forgot to switch off the phone. And he kept calling and kept calling and kept calling until the 20th call that came. So I said, let me just pick up the phone and tell him that, boss, I'm in a cabinet meeting. So I picked up the phone and I told him I'm in a cabinet meeting. And the guy said, "Oh, fine, please continue with the cabinet meeting, but can you just top up my phone?" So I'm in the cabinet meeting and one of my workers calls me up to top up his phone. And I'm making an important decision in the cabinet. I can't remember what the decision was, but we remember I'm like, is this real? You know? And that's how things are. And that moment I realized that maybe I should not carry the phone in the cabinet meeting. So I'm just trying to tell you that don't take that presentation lightly. And don't ever think that it's only the other person across the room or across the table who has got that addiction or needs that help. Trust me, there is, as our advisor has said, and rightly he's an advisor to the government, there is a room for improvement for everyone. Every individual has got an addiction. Everybody needs help at certain point in time. You may not realize it. You may think that only drugs and alcohol is addiction. No, there are many addictions in life that are affecting our families, affecting our individual life, affecting our capacity and capability of doing things which we could do better without those small things. And we think it's normal, but it's not. So therefore, I'm really happy that Dr. Arwan and his team have started this, and trust me, this is something that's going to be really positive. And if all of us start connecting to this, it's not about going to that center, it's about making that process that was shown part of our lives. I think is going to have a huge impact. So therefore, let this particular mission that we have of DREAM not just be limited to looking at elimination of drugs, but looking at how we can have a healthier society from all aspects. Let this be a movement that touches every single aspect. And let us not anyone look at it and say that I'm not part of this. Why should I be? I have nothing to do with this. It's not. We all are part of the system. And we all need to do our role to make things better. And as I said, at the end of the day, you can make things better for others. But as I think Dr. Arwan was mentioning, you can make things better for yourself. You have to love yourself to know that you can make improvements. I don't want to share all the things that I've gone through, or rather what I go through in small steps that I take, because I think you'll get bored. But I connected to that presentation immediately when I saw it, because I could see myself, being part of that. And I'll just share one thing. And sometimes actually when you look at certain thing, you look at it and you think that that's the solution to the problem that you're facing or you're having. And a lot of people will connect to that. But actually, that's not the solution. You think it's a solution. You think it helps you. You think the mobile will help you get away from the problem. You'll think that, alcohol will help you get away from the problem. You'll think that, something else you do will distract you from the problem. It's not. It's not going to help you distract, or maybe it will for a moment, but it'll not help you solve it. So therefore, I think at the end of the day, one needs to look in, realize what that is that you want, and what are the issues that will help you resolve it. And these small realizations, I'll tell you, are game changers in life. I have gone through that multiple times in my life, and that's why I'm mentioning this to you. Not in a very, very big, game changing way, but small ways which help me in my everyday life. And therefore, I really encourage and congratulate the team for this Center of Evolution. And I feel, as I said, that this should be something that we should continue to promote, not just from a drugs, alcohol rehabilitation point of view, but in small aspects of life for every single citizen in our state. I wish the DREAM project, again, the very best. I congratulate the teams and the different organizations who are working. We are planning to set up more rehabilitation centers. It's complicated. It's not so simple because it requires different aspects. Setting up a center is very easy. You put up a building, you put up different equipments, but it's creating the system to make the rehabilitation center work in terms of the manpower, the human beings, and the SOPs are required. is really the challenge. So it's very complicated, and it's very simple for people to say, why isn't government or organizations setting up rehab centers? It requires a lot of effort and commitment from everyone. So we are in the process, but the only thing that I'm happy about is that I'm seeing that process move forward. I'm seeing the kind of interest that is required for this to happen and the commitment that is required. And therefore, I'm very happy that we're moving the right direction. There will never be a right answer. There will never be a perfect solution. But that shouldn't stop us from trying. We should continue to try. We should continue to give 100% that we have from our side, keeping in mind that every effort you make is helping somebody in a small manner. And I think if that kind of a passion comes inside your heart, I'll tell you, you will never give up. And that is what is important in life, and that's what's important in this mission that we're trying to do. So I wish you all the very best, and may I request all of us, if we can just stand up for a few moments where we will just go through this pledge. I will, of course, say a few, I'll lead, I'll say a few words, one or two words, and then you can just repeat after me. Today we are united to take a pledge under the Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan to make not only our community, family, friends, but ourselves drug-free, because change starts from within. So pledge together to make Meghalaya drug-free. Again, I'm doing it in a different way, but the point is that I want everybody to say it. That's the reason. So now the second part of the pledge. I pledge that I will take all efforts in my capability to make Meghalaya drug-free. Jai Hind. Thank you so much. Again, the reason I diverted from the script that was given to me is because we are a team. So there is no CM's pledge and there is no general everyone's pledge. We are all together. So therefore, we have to take the pledge together and work together. So with that, I would start the mini CM Connect program. And please be nice. Don't scold and don't shout at me. But you can say what you want to say in a very nice way also. But please introduce yourself, and just, you can ask or suggest us something. Thank you.
My name is Boarding. I am from Life Care Foundation, Maukruat. Thank you, sir, for the time given to us. I just want to tell you that we are a 15 seat capacity, but since the beginning of the rehabilitation and counseling center, the center has not been full. And we've been talking to the community, to people around, but those who are addicted are not willing to come to the center. Now, we've been working, we've been telling people around that we have a center close by, but many are not coming to the center. Through max mapping, it was found that about 100 people in Maukruat and its adjoining villages are addicted to drugs. That finding was about 1 year ago. So by now, the number must have increased. But 15 seats are not full. And when we learn from those who've come and who've been released from the center, those who have been rehabilitated in other centers, they think that it's the best, and it's one of the best. I should not praise our own center, but then they think that it is not. Most of the things that are being given, that are being done here, are not done in the other centers. But my point is how to make the addicts come to the center. Thank you, sir.
That is a question I should be asking you. Okay, can I open the CM Connect to the public at large? I think it'll be nice to discuss it. I really don't know I don't have an answer to that. That's the problem. But it's a great question that was asked. So maybe if somebody from the team, from the government team, or somebody who is running other addiction rehabilitation and de-addiction centers, maybe you can reply. Anybody? Maybe Dream, I think Bakar Sheng is the right person. Correct. Please. And before we go into that, can somebody from the Taj guys, can you just increase the temperature a bit? It's really quite cold. Just, I don't know how much temperature it is. It's 18 degrees or 20. Just put it up a degree or two more. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bakar Sheng can come on stage.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bonding. That is a question where I've asked myself, we've had a lot of discussions with others, but we feel that the most important thing is, I'll give one example, sir. A lot of people are saying the civil hospital, there's so many users there, it is an eyesore. Why doesn't the government, I have this feeling that people say, why don't the government just rope all of these users who are eyesores in outside civil hospital or Muda or whatever, and just take them to some rehabilitation center so that it looks nice. It will never work. You can't forcibly take anyone to a rehab and expect things to work. They need to be counseled. So we're working on something which Dream Care, sir, if come forward, we'll work on that, where we are roping in almost 100+ counselors to support communities when such users are found, so that the counselors can talk to the users and encourage them to come to rehab centers.
Yeah, I think that's the correct answer. I think what we need to do then in that case is that we need to support you for the counseling part. So if you need help for counseling or support in terms of finances to get counselors, then we should do that. I think what Bakar Sheng, our director, has mentioned is correct. So I think that in fact a lot of other rehab centers will also be facing a similar problem. So I think that would be one of the solutions that we could move forward. We have a session afterwards that you'll be discussing. Okay, good. So we'll be having more time, and whatever the minutes and the suggestions that come from the discussions will also come to me. So I will go through the other suggestions also. But as I said, we have paucity of time, so we'll quickly go to the second question.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. I'm Mr. H.S. Suting from Good Samaritan Counseling Center, Clear Your Door, hotspot area. Okay. So yesterday we have got a discussion among ourselves, Rang Bachnong, Sanganthai, church leader, teacher. So a lot of question and lot of suggestion you will get. Now we are preparing, sir, for yesterday meeting. Then I would like to thank that actually our center has been open on September 25, not yet 1 year. So people who came to us, which is no more place, who came to us now as Sir Sampak Kumar, he say 180 in our center. And we have sent to the rehab center 35 of them. Then the problem is that the rehab center, whenever we request, they say no more room, no more place. That is our difficult.
Mokorwat, we can send them. I mean, one is saying we don't have enough, one is saying we have too much.
So I think this center which we have sent, I think they will witness that.
So maybe you can reply to the Mokurwat issue. Why? How did you? On a serious note, I mean, how did you do it? How come you're having? Did you go for counseling, or did you have the locality leaders connect with you? Did you have the church leaders who worked at the grassroots level? Did you have programs where you ensure that confidentiality was maintained? What did you do that led to so many of the people having the confidence to come and be part of your rehabilitation program? Maybe that would help Mokurwat, center to learn.
You see, sir, we have only 2 of our volunteers. They go and meet in a civil hospital, go to Yaudo, go to... In that way, people, they come. And among themselves, when the drugs addict, they came, you go to Yodo, the rehab center, they will get tea, they will get food. So when they come...
It's important. These are small things, but making a difference, yeah.
When they come, we are hungry. We have the whole night we didn't have. So we give them food, we give them tea, and I used to send to the social welfare director those pictures confidentially.
Yeah.
Then, and that is our problem, sir. Then if you can increase those
rehabilitation center,
because
can it down.
They say for this BPL only few seats. BPL only few seats, then others they have got. And then what happened, one perhaps, they say, if they can pay, then there is place, there is room. If they cannot pay, that I say...
How does this work right now? So suppose a person is coming in, they have to pay for the rehabilitation expenditure. Do we support through DREAM? But this is run by the NGO, the private. So how do we... I think we can work out some mechanism and just see how to... Because obviously we can't give like everything, because then it becomes difficult for us to sustain in the long run. But we'll definitely take your suggestion. Number one, you want increase in the beds.
Yeah.
And number one, you need some support for BPL. Families who are not able to pay.
Yes.
But obviously they also deserve the support. So let's just take this to suggestions. So I'm not saying we'll solve it, but we're just noting it down, because I don't have an answer right now.
Okay.
Let me just discuss with the team.
So another thing, sir, the main problem after release from the rehab center.
Okay.
They came to us what to do. They want to stay, but from rehab center, they didn't allow anymore to stay after 6 months. That is a main problem for us. They came again, still their parent, their relative, they say, they are not fit. They are still hungry to get the drugs. If they stay in rehabs, then why not increase up to 8 months and 1 year to be in rehabs?
I think
regarding that, Bahoji, we have discussed also. This is why the government has supported the start of the halfway home to be run by the Meghalaya Users Forum, and very soon it will be operational. And I think that will be a resolution to all this. And we will look into increasing the regarding those free things for how it works.
BPL.
For the centers supported by the government, 15 seats are reserved for BPL family. Unless they are, there are no BPL families, so it's taken by others. Otherwise, 15 seats in every rehab centers, which is supported by government, is reserved for BPLs.
You see, sir, who came to our center? No. They are drop out from school.
Yeah.
And get the drugs from school, from friends. They get the drugs. Then after that, their relative, they throw it away. Homeless.
Yeah.
And one homeless, they say, I will hang tomorrow. They came to us, I want to go to rehabs. We request a rehab. They say no place, no place, no place. So somehow, later on, I came to know that he went by himself to New Hope Center. At least they have got a place there.
Okay.
That is a.
So we got the general point because I mean I think detail will not be able to go into everything.
Yeah, that is.
But we got the point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that is my suggestion. So thank you for your support to the Good Samaritan. We need actually, sir, more counselor in our.
We will work on that.
Thank you.
As I said, it's a process. So obviously we can't do everything in one go, but this is how we learn and we become better. I think last. Oh.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Barry Leslie Karmalki. I'm from the Meghalaya Users Forum. First of all, I would like to thank the entire people who have worked hard to make our dream a reality, in fact. Just the other day, Marvin, who's also a recovery champion, he was saying that, whole of our life we've been used to negativity, that when people start being nice, it feels weird. So right now we are a bunch of people who are really feeling so weird right now because we are not used to positive things. The past 4 or 5 years, I think we have all seen that we have been beaten, bashed by almost every pressure group, by almost every people who have a hand, who have a stick, they can beat us. We all bear the brunt of being addicts. But thankfully, with your initiatives and the dream, we are now walking towards the right directions. Apart from that, sir, I would like to mention that the halfway home we have proposed, actually it's a sort of a transitional recovery model. It is a support to the universe, to the rehab universe of Meghalaya, in fact, at the moment. But sir, the halfway home right now is 20 beds. And from what sir have just mentioned, I think we can, from this model, in 6 or 8 months' time, we'll see how it goes. And we assure you results. We will give you results. We assure that I think we need to start writing for Jaintia Hills and for the other districts also. And another thing, sir, I want to also highlight that, with dream and rehabilitation, sort of a demand reduction, I think we also must not neglect that as a community, we also must not neglect the harm reduction aspect, where the Meghalaya AIDS Control Society, they play a very vital role also there, sir. And overall, sir, we're very thankful, but there is one point I want to say, and I hope this not hurt the feeling of anyone. I am also a part of the Indian Drug User Forum, the Asian network of people who use drugs, and also International Treatment Prepare Coalition. We have a lot of experts when we deal with addiction, when we deal with harm reduction, sir. I would like to request the state to please consider the consultation of these experts, sir. I know we have a lot of hard-working people who works toward, making a change, especially when it comes to addiction and tackling the menace of addiction in our society. But we still lack the expertise. People used to talk about Punjab, or you should take example from Punjab and all. You should read from Punjab. We did not only read, we brought somebody from Punjab. Dr. Kanudeep Kaur here is here to help us with hepatitis C. She, in fact, through her guidance, we've been able to screen around 1,500 drug users, and around 1,200 drug users are HCV positive, which shows that there's a lot of burden on the states also when it comes to buying medicine and all. So yes, the rehabilitation part has been addressed, but we also must not neglect that with drug addiction, HIV, TB, and hepatitis also are so common, sir. That's why I would request that we should take the expertise of these people, bring in the consultation. We're very thankful to her, and we're very thankful. Right now, I'm speechless. For a guy, I've never seen 20 lakhs, and right now we're seeing 20 lakhs. Some of us, Jerry, when I asked him to hold the check, he was shivering, and I also was shivering because I've never held 20 lakhs in whole of my life. But nonetheless,
but don't take the check to the bank.
But nonetheless, sir,
then they will show you their back if you take that check.
When we developed the proposal for the halfway home, we were scared we will not get any funds because we were addicts. Like I said, we are so surrounded by negativity whole of our lives that when we wrote the proposal, we thought of including infrastructure like fridge, cooking materials, gas, curtains, so many things that we need in the halfway home. But some of us are so skeptic and so apprehensive. Hey, let's not ask all this. They may not give. Just ask for the operational part. They will give, and somehow we will mobilize fund and buy all these things. But we have tried. DG Police have supported us with beds, almirah, office tables. Some private donors have supported us with gas and all, but we still lack a lot of things. Madam Monisha has scolded me. Why did you write only this one? Why didn't you write the essential part? How will you keep a drug addict there? How will you keep a community without giving them food? Then I said, yes, I will write again. So with all of this, we are right now shivering. And it also makes
It's not because of the AC, right?
No.
Okay. I think AC is also adding to it.
I'm shivering with joy and I'm holding a lot of tears back. From yesterday, I've been in the Indian Drug User Forum group. I've been texting, Meghalaya is doing this, Meghalaya is doing that. Manipur, who is the pioneer of activism, advocacy in all of India, now they're behind. They said, I envy Meghalaya so much. But I told them it's because of the dynamic leadership of the CM, the very understanding legislator, and also the very smart and hard-working bureaucrats. Thank you so much for the support. We from the community right now, we're out of words right now. Thank you so much, sir, and especially Sir Francis, who have been, he's like my ex-girlfriend, He's like my ex-girlfriend who I argue every time. He even said to me, I am very annoyed as soon as I see your text. And I said, I am also annoyed at texting you also at the same time. But really, this is a life-changing moment, in fact, in the life of drug user. And I'll tell you, sir, this is the example that every state who is looking at Meghalaya. For me, in the group now, I walk like a king. We are the youngest network in the country. The Meghalaya Users Forum is the youngest network in the country. We have the Haryana, the Punjab, the Manipur, the Mizoram. At first, we were so small. Now we can walk with our horns and our head held high in the Indian Drug User Forum, sir. And that is because of you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. You forgot to thank yourself and mention about the work that you are doing. So it is you at the end of the day who should be congratulated. And, all the government programs, again, not to point any fingers, this should have been done quite some time back, if you ask me. But it's never too late. And I think we are in the right direction. We need to work as a team. And what is important is that we always keep that purpose and that passion inside us to be able to achieve, because there'll be a lot of hurdles. Nothing will go perfect. I'm sure that now the messages between you and your ex-girlfriend will be more. Because that's how it is, because we are both passionate. That's the reason why this is there. It happens when people are passionate that you start arguing because you believe that what you are doing or saying is correct. And it happens because you believe in yourself, and it happens because you're passionate about something. Just like Bakar Singh, he's passionate about what he's doing. So therefore, it's a great thing. I love when there's constructive argument. I love it when people fight in that positive manner to achieve the goal. And regarding the future support, I don't know, maybe subtly you have given the message to me that you need a fridge and you need what? Other things, without really demanding for it. But I'm also quite intelligent politically, so I read between the lines that without saying much, you ultimately left me with that small memorandum. But yeah, we will work towards making your center better and better. Because at the end of the day, as one of our friends had just mentioned, that a cup of tea and some food made the difference. People come, we have to realize these are human beings. They have nowhere to go because everybody has left them and everybody has rejected them. And therefore, sometimes they even come with no food to eat. And just because they get the food and the support and the kindness, they're there to be, and that's how they build it up. So yeah, fridge can maybe be a game changer. You never know. So yeah, I'm not joking. That's what matters. Small things like this matter. So thank you so much for all the work that you and all of you, in fact, are doing. We are there to support all of you and to do whatever we can in our capacity. As I said, we cannot do everything, but I assure you that we'll do whatever is possible in the capacity that we have. And I'm sure as we move forward, we will be able to make a difference. And at the end, I just wanted to add, which is something that Paul had mentioned earlier, that at the end of the day, we also need to, while we're looking at all the rehabilitation, all the different aspects of de-addiction, I think the larger picture of keeping our youth engaged and occupied is also something that we need to look at as a society. So I hope the community leaders who are here, like as Paul mentioned, a lot of people question us sometimes, why we're having programs like MGMP, programs like our, the football investments we make. And a lot of people question, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Because there's a larger goal, there's a larger purpose. Today, those same children who possibly could have been in drugs are playing football because of that small futsal, playing area which was created. I remember, when I was in school, because we went to music so much, that right after school was over, we had time for nothing except music. So I just spend almost 3 hours a day practicing guitar, music with my band, and we enjoyed it so much that, touch wood, no question of any substance abuse was there in our lives because we were just happy doing what we were doing. And we were occupied, our minds were occupied. And I think that experience in my life also then, prompted me that when I'm in a position to do something, that we must engage the youth. We must allow them to follow their passion, their dreams. It sounds very idealistic. It's not easy, but we need to do whatever bit that we can. And therefore, it's not just government. We need society. We need public to be with us. So that larger picture also is something we hope to achieve. I just wanted to put it in because it's part of the larger plan. If we want to fight drugs and menace and all these issues of addiction, we need to see the big picture. It's not always about just that one activity we do. We need to see the larger picture. So with these few points, I think we'll close this. Sim, we're done with this? Okay. So with that, thank you so much for sharing your ideas, and I'm sure we will continue to meet, and I'm sure that you'll be discussing more points. And I'm very happy, as I said, if you would anytime want to meet me separately and give me suggestions, we'll be happy to take the suggestions. And all of these things happening now is based on suggestions we got from you. Remember that. The actions we took are not thoughts that came to our mind. So somewhere along the line, somebody was complaining, so I heard that complaint, then we converted into action. So that's how things happen. So don't ever think that your suggestions are not important. They're very important to us, and we are listening. We may not be able to do everything, but we are listening, and we will act on things that you suggest to us. So once again, thank you so much and wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, sir, for that visionary address, and also to all the speakers and volunteers who have shared their experience with us. Ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the conclusion to the formal inaugural session, I invite Srimati Saloni Verma to kindly deliver the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our Honorable Chief Minister, Congrad Sangma sir, for your leadership, for always inspiring us to do good for the people. Thank you so much to Honorable Tourism Minister for being present here today. Thank you to Paul Lingdo sir for always advising the department in good stead. Thank you to all the Honorable MLAs, our Additional Chief Secretary sir, Commissioner Secretary sir, IGP sir, all other eminent citizens of society, our people, students, doctors, professionals, everybody who has come. My sincere apologies if I'm missing anybody out, but thank you from my heart to all of you on behalf of the Social Welfare Department for showing up today and for making this program the first of many good things that we do for the welfare of the people. Khublai Shibun, Mithela and Jai Hind. I request everybody to please stay back for the group photograph. Thank you.
Picture.
Thank you so much, sir, Honorable Chief Minister, and all guests being part of this August gathering on this day. And we hope everything materializes for the better future of the state of Meghalaya. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move into the next segment of today's observance. Our next presentation is a special skit by the Dream Youth Ambassadors highlighting the realities of substance abuse, the importance of timely intervention, and the hope that recovery can bring. May we now invite on stage the Dream Youth Ambassadors to present their skit. We request everybody to be seated as the program is yet to unfold to its end. We'll be having a few resource people speaking and of course some takeaways from these important discussions, a bit of music from the band Wavelength, and not forget we'll be culminating this program with the state anthem by the Khmer. Can we now have the Dream Youth Ambassadors on stage to present their skit?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Nafyun, thank you, and we are a Dream Youth Ambassador. And today we are going to perform a short anti-drug skit, and the title is Scan for Hope.
Drug destroy, families break, life destroy. Drug destroy, families break, life destroy. Drug destroy, families break, life destroy. Drug destroy, families break, life destroy.
But what if help was just one step away?
My son, my only son, you make me shit. What will I do now? Where will I go now? Shame, 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 shame. It's the trouble of the society. Shame, 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 shame on him. Shame, 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 shame on his family. Shame, 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 shame.
I'm sorry, Mom. I try so hard to quit, but I can't. I'm really sorry, Mom.
You were the only hope of our family. But now we are finished. Shame, 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 shame. Shame, 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 shame. Bad family. Stop. Shame, shame, shame. Stop. Bad upbringing. Shame, stop. Shame, shame, shame. No future. Stop. Shame, shame.
Is this helping or killing more life? As you have seen in the short skit that people abuse drug are discriminated in the society. They are called as trouble to the society, shaming them and their family. Their family is deemed as bad, blaming their upbringing. Society thinks that they have no future. One way we can support them in by knowing the resources available around us like rehabilitation center, counseling center, etc. Let us all join hands together to stop discrimination and promote welfare and well-being.
Sansuli, what happened? Why are you crying?
You don't know, Bibon. I'm so ashamed. I can't tell you.
Why are you so ashamed? You can tell me.
No, Bibon, I'm so ashamed. I can't tell you.
You can tell me. I'm here for you.
My son has brought shame to our family.
What happened to your son?
He's into drugs.
What? Your son? He's into drugs?
Yes, and there is no help, only shame.
Who said that? There is help.
Help? Who can help me?
Have you heard about Dream?
Dream? You're talking about Dream when my son is into drugs.
No, the Dream Mission.
Dream Mission? What is Dream Mission?
The Dream Mission, it's a mission formed by the governments of Meghalaya to fight against drugs.
How can it help my son?
Do you remember the Dream calendar?
Yes, I have one.
Yes, in that calendar, there is a QR code. If you scan the QR code, all the lists of the rehab center in Meghalaya, along with the contact number, are there.
Rehab? I can't afford rehab. I am so poor, Bibon.
Don't worry. The governments of Meghalaya provide free treatment, especially for the poor families.
Is it?
Yes. No judgment, no stigma, only treatment. Come, I'll show you. You see, here in the calendar, there a QR code. If you scan the QR code, all the lists of the rehab center in Meghalaya, along with the contact number, are there. You can call any of them. They will help you at the right time.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Bibon.
It's okay. You can thank the governments of Meghalaya. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world.
How many families are struggling silently? Maybe in your home, maybe next door. Don't hide, don't fear. Scan for hope, scan for life. Scan for hope, scan for life. Thank you, Kublai Matela.
Thank you to the Dream Youth Ambassadors for that thoughtful and impactful presentation. Let us all give them a well-deserved round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the fight against drug abuse and illicit trafficking requires not only prevention and rehabilitation, but also strong enforcement and active community participation. To speak on the topic, disrupting drug trafficking and organized crime, Community Partnership for a Safer Society, we are truly honored to invite Shri Aditya Goenka, IPS Inspector General of Police, CID, Meghalaya, Shillong. It is also a very humble request to all the speakers to kindly stick to the timeline of 15 minutes as time is of the essence. Yes, and with that, I would like to invite Sir Aditya Goenka. The stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Social Welfare Department, Praveen Bakshi sir, Saloni, senior officers and leaders of the community here. This is a very really important topic and something of a great concern to the Meghalaya police. I want to start by saying that drug trafficking is not really just about drugs. And the reason why I say that is that if you just look at drugs, we miss the organized crime behind that. It's an organized crime which finances violence, it finances extortion, it destroys families, it destroys our youth. And I think we must recognize that like we've heard before, that every addict represents a family. So also every peddler is the part of an organized criminal network. And if you only see the drugs, we miss the organized crime behind that. Now we have to realize that organized crime has changed over the years. So we are not just talking about individual offenders, we are talking about networks, we are talking about encrypted communication channels, we are talking about financiers, we are talking about cross state and cross border sort of smuggling, peddlers, and a whole range of technological tools that are being deployed by these smugglers. So in line with this, Meghalaya Police is also changing its approach. We are changing from just focusing on an individual trafficker to a system where we are looking at routes, we are looking at intelligence-led policing, where we want to examine who are the repeat offenders, where are the links. So we are not just talking about catching single offenders, but we're trying to dismantle networks. And in this whole process, we started asking questions. We see that certain cases are more successful than others. We see that certain places have been successful while others remain a challenge. So we are asking we are studying what are the successful investigations, what are the best practices, can we standardize them, what are the responses that we can have, what should be the standard sort of response to users, or when someone's taking drugs, or when we catch a peddler, what happens, how do we support families, etc., etc. So we want to standardize our responses and kind of see where we are the weakest, so that we can actually effectively put a lot of these drug traffickers and peddlers behind bars for a long time. Now, one of the most important things that we did in the last few days was that there's been several meetings of the Northeastern DGs, Director Generals of Police, when the CM was there in one of our review meetings, we started looking at questions of patterns, because we have to recognize that Meghalaya is not a producer of drugs. The drugs come from somewhere to Meghalaya, and we need to realize how are we going to tackle this. So this cannot be a one district approach or a one city approach. It has to be a whole region approach, and that's why we are strengthening linkages with different states, and we are trying to see that if we catch one trafficker here, who was his supplier in Assam, or who was his supplier in Nagaland or Mizoram? What were the kind of vehicles they were thinking? So a lot of work is happening in the background. A lot of details are technical, and I would not be able to share them. But we are looking at databases. We are looking at sharing reports and real-time information, etc., etc. And the whole philosophy behind is that a trafficker should not feel safe simply because he has crossed a state boundary, and for that the Northeast itself should become one unit. So this 8 different police forces need to think and act in a very united way. The other really important thing for us is our intelligence. Our greatest intelligence is already there, and that's the community, right? We think that we need intelligence, but the community is already there, and that's why we work very closely with all the Rangbashnongs, and they are not just informers for us; they are like our partners, because if you have community leaders, they know exactly which people are vulnerable. They know who is suddenly getting wealthy, who's keeping bad company, etc., etc. So we really think that communities are really important part of law enforcement, and it's not just some informers. The second really important component for us are the VDPs, because the village defense parties are again eyes and ears, because they not only report suspicious movements, they can really be partners because they are young, and they can talk about awareness programs. They make a lot of important interventions which are actually protecting communities from this whole thing. So even in the police, the police is a part of society, and we are not separate. So we also need to start thinking more deeply, and we're kind of struggling with these things, and the subtle differences, like who are users and who are traffickers. There is an overlap. There are some users who also sell drugs, but the treatment has to be very, very different, because if someone is a trafficker, then we have to ensure that they go to jail, and they go to jail for a long time. So that their reformation sort of happens, but they cannot come back and start, selling drugs to young people. On the other hand, the users need to be treated with more compassion, with more respect, and help them sort of start a journey on things. So we are trying to find ways in which we have a standard response across the state to any situation that is related to drugs. If there's an emergency, what happens, and what kind of responses we need to have. We've also started, so that is our response. But the really crucial thing that we now believe in is data-driven policing. So we don't, for me personally, it's not about, okay, I've made a big seizure here, or we've caught these drugs. That is not important. The important thing is, are we analyzing the trends? Are we mapping the hotspots? Do we know who are the repeat offenders? What are the interstate linkages? So that we can actually remove whole networks. Because with drugs, we have to understand that Myanmar is really a narco state, and they produce drugs worth lakhs of crores. And when they send those drugs over, you can always replace somebody who's coming. Now in Meghalaya, we see that they're small time peddlers, etc. So till the time we don't actually collaborate with our sister agencies, we don't have coordinated meetings, we won't be able to take off the big suppliers who are there in other states. And for that, we really have to do a very deep think in terms of how can we use the data that is available, how can we ask the right questions so that we can actually catch all of these people. So like I said, that for me personally, making a big seizure is not a sign of a big success. I would ask questions that, are we actually dismantling a network? Do we have forward and backward linkages? Can we seize property of such people? Can we put them behind for preventive sections? Can we actually and are our actions actually reducing addictions? Are we kind of making communities safer? Are we preventing someone who's going to try drugs for the first time? Can we reach them? And are we actually helping rehabilitating people, right? So a large seizure makes big headlines, right? It comes in the news, everyone gets a photo opportunity. But I think the real work is in the community, is if we can prevent one person from taking drugs or becoming an addict. I think that's a far bigger success than catching, drugs like that. And I think that is the commitment that we're all trying to move forward. We're very lucky that we have such amazing leadership. We have so much of support from the community, and I think we are all, we all recognize the danger of drugs that is in front of our society. And I think we'll only reach success if we all come together. None of us can succeed if we are in silos. And I really want to invite all of you that please, we must work together. And Meghalaya Police is always here with all of you, and we want to reach out. And if there are any suggestions, any information, any way in which we can work together, we're always open. So please reach out, and we would love to hear from you so that your police can make a more targeted and better intervention for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now, prevention begins long before intervention becomes necessary. Schools, educators, parents, and community. We now have a small felicitation to Shri Aditya Goenka, IPS, Inspector General of Police CID Meghalaya Shillong, by Ma'am Saloni, to him for his insight into this subject that we are delving today. A round of applause for our guest, Shri Aditya Goenka, IPS, Inspector General Police CID Meghalaya Shillong. Thank you, sir. To share insights on the role of educational institutions in prevention and awareness, we are pleased and honored to invite Shri Bantelang J. Kharshandi, MCS, Joint Secretary, Education Department, and Director, School Education and Literacy, Government of Meghalaya. Sir will be speaking on educate, empower, prevent schools as the first line of defense against drug abuse and organized crime. I humbly request our resource speakers to kindly stick to the 15 minutes that you have been given by the organizers for this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the Compare for today's program, and a very good afternoon to everyone and our senior officials from the government of Meghalaya, from the Social Welfare Department, from the Police Department, the various stakeholders who are present here today, and all my dear friends. So today I've been given the task to deliver a short presentation on the importance of schools being the first line of defense against these two very challenging issues before us, which is drug abuse and organized crime or illicit trafficking. Now, these three words are very, very powerful, but very, very important words as far as schools are concerned. Now, all of us, I believe, have been to schools once upon a time, and we understand how schools play a very, very important role for us, not just in the formal education, but also to empower and also to help us to have the capacity to understand what is right and what is wrong. So therefore, these three very, very important words are very, very crucial for us. In the presentation which we had just before my presentation now, we've had a very elaborate insight that has been given by our IG CID, Sir Aditya Goenka, on how drugs have really penetrated into our society, into our youth, and how this has become a very, very, sort of an organized crime which has been there in our society. And, it becomes a very, very challenging issue for us in tackling this problem. But as you all understand, that it requires a concerted effort of all the departments concerned, and schools also here have a very, very important role to play. Okay, so here I don't think I need not elaborate much on the role that the police department is playing, because I think you've heard a lot of from our previous speaker. So what is important is that I want to dwell upon the role of schools with regards to educating our children and educating particularly our youth with regards to the problems of drug abuse and illicit trafficking. Now here also I want to all of you to focus on these three important things which the school provides. Okay, one of course is the awareness, the guidance, and the early intervention. Now just to inform everybody that even with regards to syllabus also, the education department is playing a very, very crucial role in ensuring that chapters on drug abuse, chapters on peer pressure, chapters on substance abuse, chapters on good nutrition, they are incorporated in the syllabus so as to make the students understand what is good for them and what kind of pressure they may face, not just in school, but even outside the school campus. So what we've realized is that during our day-to-day interaction with schools, now we understand that schools face a lot of problems, and I may share this with you that just recently, in fact just a couple of months back, we also received complaints, 2 complaints in fact, from a very, very prominent school here in Shillong, of which I shall not mention the name as of now because the matter is still under inquiry. But this news, or rather this information has come to us, that there are cases of sexual harassment of students in schools, okay, which is a very, very alarming issue, which not just Shillong, but in fact other schools are also facing. Now, what we've done is that there was a proposal that we have received. In fact, we used to get feedbacks from different stakeholders from time to time. So what these stakeholders have told us is that, they always come to us and they approach us and they ask us, request us, why not keep counselors in our schools? So we understand that, of course, with the current system that we have, with the current teaching fraternity that we have, particularly in government schools, of course, we do not have. All right, we only have one counselor which is operating in Pine Mount School. But apart from that, other schools, except for the private schools, and of course some of the government-aided schools, they have engaged their own counselors. We don't have counselors. But right now we understand that as a department, we have to play a very, very proactive role in this, because we understand that counselors can play a very, very important role in giving the right awareness, guidance, and also early intervention when it comes to such issues. Now, let me highlight another point. See, Education Department also is working hand in hand, not just with Social Welfare Department, but in fact with other departments that are crucial for the students. Okay, for example, Sports Department. Now, recently, just a few months back, we had signed one MOU with a very, very prominent foundation which is connected with sports in India. Okay, it's called the Abhinav Bindra Foundation. So this program, which the Education Department and Sports Department are running together, okay, alongside with the foundation, it's called the OVEP. Okay, it's called the Olympics Value Education Program. So through this program, I'll tell you, this program is not just about sports. Okay, it teaches people about disciplining the students in life, all right? And disciplining students in life does not confine only to sports, but it expands to other parameters as well. Now, see, Olympic values, when we started this concept, Olympic Values Education Program. So the first thing first, what we heard, from the foundation, they simply told us one thing, which is a fact. Okay, and they told us that, see, you cannot expect every person or every student in every school to be a sports person. Okay, leave aside a good sports person. All right, and that is the reality. Not every student can be a sports person. But what is important is that the values, all right, that a sports person has, those same types of values, they have to be incorporated in each and every student so that they can live a disciplined life. And living a disciplined life can really help them in alleviating, or to a larger extent in curbing this problem of drug abuse and illicit trafficking. Now, drug abuse, I think we've heard at length from our IG CID. Now, we understand that, the menace of drugs has even entered into the school campuses, has even entered into our school children. All right. And of course, social welfare department will be having the data of all such cases. But we as a department in education also, we are very, very concerned about this. So therefore, we have even also moved a proposal to government, and I think this also will be considered. We are planning to have these, full town councillors, all right, who will be operating in different regions. And these councillors will not just, be stationed in schools. They will move, in fact, from the districts to the blocks, from the blocks to the clusters, in understanding what is happening on the ground. All right. So we understand that councillors are trained people, all right. They are professionals in their field, so therefore they can play a more important role in this. So, how to connect the councillors with the OVEP, or the Olympics Value Education Program, is that in the Olympics Value Education Program, we are identifying teachers, not just to be as coaches for the students, but also to be as trainers and mentors. All right. And we've also decided that, these social issues which children are facing, these issues also should be incorporated in this program itself, so that it spreads across the required awareness and the required intervention which is needed for our students. And I'll tell you, at this point of time, what is to be understood is that the early intervention is very, very important. All right, because we have not reached that stage, where things can erupt anytime soon. So we still have the time to create that intervention, so that the early interventions can be made not just from the education. And I really second the opinion that has been given by our IG presence, that it requires community participation also. And being in the education field, and I think all of you are very, very familiar with the National Education Policy 2020. So National Education Policy 2020 also aligns itself very well with community participation. So community participation right from the school level is very, very important. And I'll tell you that, I think just 1 or 1.5 months back, the Ministry of Education, Government of India also launched a fresh guidelines with regards to the roles and responsibilities of the school managing committee. And if you look at school managing committees in our system, all right, in our state, not just rural areas, but even urban areas also, they constitute basically, not just the principal of the school, but it also constitute other members of the committee. It can be the headman, it can be the secretary of the particular village, and so on and so forth. So the village or the community plays a very, very important role in this. So that's why it's very, very important for us to strengthen this system that we already have, in order to ensure that our students get rid of this of this menace that we are facing right now. Okay, so why schools matter? I think we understand very well. We are celebrating this day every year, International Day Against Drugs. And, just recently we had the World Environment Day. So, whenever I visit schools, I used to tell students that, these are days, of course, which mark the importance of such a particular occasion. All right. But it does not mean that we confine ourselves only to this day. On this day, we remember the importance of, Day Against Drug Abuse. But, this is a movement. And I used to tell students also last time, when we had this World Environment Day celebration. So I told students that, World Environment Day is not just a day, it is a movement. All right. And this Day Against Drug Abuse also, it is a movement. All right. And, this particular issue cannot be solved in just 1 or 2 days. It requires a lot of effort from all the stakeholders. Now, I want to turn your attention to the last paragraph in this slide, okay, which is very, very important. Risky behaviors. See, being in the education department and, being involved with schools every now and then, we understand a lot about risky behaviors being inhibited by certain students. In the month of February and March, we conducted one examination for the assistant teachers and also the assistant lecturers. So I happened to visit, Government Girls High Secondary School here in Shillong, and, I was taking a round of the examination halls. And then the principal pointed out to one room, okay, and she told me, she said, sir, that's the room where actually one student committed suicide. And nobody dares to enter that room from that day onwards. And, she told me that the chowkidar was still in shock, all right, and they're not utilizing the room at all. So, it left a very, very, kind of an imprint on me that, this thing can happen to anybody. And I'll tell you, I've been posted in West Chanda Hills district. At that time, when West Chanda Hills district, was supposedly the crux of where, this drug menace is, at that point of time. Of course, now it has spread everywhere, but I think you still remember, right? Once upon a time, Joai was like the center. So when I remember at that point of time, there were so many cases of suicide happening in young people, all right? And many of these young people are either school students or college-going students. And many of them have also dropped out from school and dropped out from college. And this, I'll tell you, is a very, very important issue. Why? Because generally, I'll tell you, teachers, because I also was a teacher myself. I remember we studied, a subject called child psychology. So child psychology is very, very important. Why? Because teachers, they can easily detect these risky behaviors in students right at the school level. And, it's not just the teachers, but even the parents as well. Because, nowadays, we have to accept the fact that many of our parents, we are working parents, okay? So in some cases, only the mother is a housewife, but generally in most cases, the mother also is a working parent. So generally it means that at home, it's very, very difficult for the parents to monitor their children, what they do at home, what they watch, how they play, how they interact with their, their relatives at home, with their neighbors, and so on and so forth. So the important thing is that what happens in school, that is crucial. So identifying these risky behaviors is very, very crucial. And, through child psychology, I used to tell the teachers every now and then when I go and visit the schools that please try to understand the mindset of the students. Please try to understand the problems that the students are facing. Do not just restrict yourselves only to academics alone. All right. And that is what NEP teaches us right now. Just before coming here for this meeting, we had a meeting on performance grading index. I think that is it's like an issue which everybody is aware about. All right, and the department is taking serious steps towards this. So we were discussing about the performance grading index, and under performance grading index we have 6 different domains. Under these domains we have 73 different indicators, and if you check these indicators, they are not confined to academics alone. They are not confined to infrastructure in schools alone. All right, they cater to a lot of other things, and one of the most important thing they cater, there is a domain which caters a lot on enrollment. Okay, it talks about NER. Okay, it talks about dropouts. So this is a domain which is called access. So going through this domain, we understand that it talks a lot about how to ensure that students do not drop out from schools, how students are to be ensured that there is continuity from one level to another. So we had a discussion with all the, the missionary heads. There were heads of the Catholic institutions, there were heads of the Ramakrishna Mission, there were heads from other institutions, okay, who run these religious minority institutions across the state. So they also were giving us the opinion, all right? They were giving us suggestions on how to ensure that these problems, that we are facing today, they are actually linked, very much linked to the performance grading index, which is happening. All right. And, if you go through this, the entire parameters which are there, we understand that even societal problems, even the role of parents, the role of school managing committees plays a very, very important role. So that's why this chapter which we are discussing right now, it's largely connected with this also. Okay, I think I've crossed 15 minutes, but anyway, I'll just run very fast. Okay, so all these different things I think we've talked about. Okay, identifying risks of students, then counseling service we've also talked, then the partnership with parents and guardians, and of course resilience and decision making skills on the part of the students. I would like to highlight on this, this very important point. Number 6, okay, resilience and decision-making skills. Right now, we are running one program which is called SPARK, okay, which is called School Program in Articulation, Resilience, and Kindness. In fact, this program was, it was pioneered in 2004. All right, that time it was done under the aegis of Samagra Shiksha. And then in 2025, we realized that, this program was very successful. So that's why the state government has expanded this program further. This program, I'll tell you, it talks about these 3 factors: articulation, resilience, and kindness. Okay. These, I'll tell you, these are the core values which teaches not just students, but even teachers as well. All right. So the second episode of this Spark program, we have expanded to teachers as well. Earlier, it was only Spark for students. Now it is Spark for students and Spark for teachers as well. Articulation, resilience, and kindness. And I'll tell you, I went to Mairang last week, to attend one of these Spark programs. And there was one teacher, who came up, and I'll tell you how this is linked to this entire, issue regarding drug abuse and illicit trafficking. There was one teacher who came up, all right, and she gave a speech. So, even the anchor also did not say that, we request one teacher to give us testimony. It was not like that. They just said, okay, we invite Shrimati so-and-so to kindly come up and give a speech. And she gave a very, very beautiful speech. And at the end of the speech, she told us that she attended this Spark program for just 1 week, and it was her first public speech in English. All right. She came from a very, very remote school in eastern West Khasi Hills, and she told us, that she teaches students. Okay, she tries teaching students in English, at the elementary level. But she's never ever confident. But now, coming up on stage, giving a very, very beautiful speech, almost, I won't say correct English, almost correct English. And for the first time, that was a great achievement. And imagine, this was a teacher, all right? Then for the students as well, it was the same. Students also had that level of confidence in them. And what they told us was very, very interesting. Okay. They told us that Spark program, it teaches us not just on communication. It teaches us how to make good decisions. All right. So good decisions can actually help you in understanding what is right and what is wrong for you. Because at the end of the day, just going by syllabus, just going by what is there in the textbook, it is not complete at all. Okay. And today I was, again, I reiterate the meeting that we had on PGI. We were talking a lot on learning outcomes. Okay. And learning outcomes, I'll tell you, in this PGI, 400 marks, because it's out of 1,000 marks. 400 marks alone comes from the assessment of the learning outcomes of children in school. So you imagine if the learning outcomes in schools are not good, we will be losing out on 400 valuable marks. So we were talking a lot on the importance of the assessment. So learning outcomes is very, very crucial. So what is important is that students, at the end of the day, whatever they learn in school, all right, when the assessment happens, because right now I'll tell you, when the teacher takes an assessment of students, they take an assessment not just of the chapter which is taught in the classroom. It is important for them also to take an assessment of what the students understands beyond the chapter. Beyond the chapter. That is very, very crucial for students to understand. So therefore, at the end of the day, I'll tell you, schools, as institutions, definitely play a very, very important role in creating not just the awareness, but the right guidance, not just for them individually, but for our society. Because if we think about drug abuse, if we think about illicit trafficking, we have to think about our society. It reflects our image, it reflects our prestige, and it reflects, our people as a whole. Okay, if students, become victims to drugs, if students become victims, easy prey to illicit trafficking, then at the end of the day, it reflects largely and very, very poorly on us as a state. So therefore, I feel, it's a very important occasion for us to understand all these, and we need to work together as a team. That's why it's, I'm very happy that we have different stakeholders from all across different fields. We need to work together and to ensure that Meghalaya is free, from drugs. And Meghalaya, the students of Meghalaya are resilient enough to understand what is right and what is wrong. So with these few words, thank you so much. I will have to end my presentation because I think I've gone beyond 15 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. As a sign of gratitude and love, we would like to give you a small memento. Thank you so much, sir, once again. Can we have a big round of applause? All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next presentation is a special musical performance titled Break These Chains, perfectly aligned with today's theme, that is Break the Cycle, #Stop Organized Crime. Please join us in welcoming Wavelength, a band founded in 2018, which is a musical band consisting of 2 vocalists, male and female, renowned for captivating audiences with their powerful performances and soulful music. Once again, can we have a big round of applause for Wavelength? Thank you.
A very good afternoon to everyone present here today. Off the bat, I would like to give a big shout out and a big thank you to the Department of Social Welfare, also to the Dream Mission for letting us be part of this very important, purposeful cause this afternoon. We are a band called Wavelength, and we were formed, like the MC said, 2018. Last year, we had the privilege of, writing down a song for our friends who are in addiction. In my personal experience, I've done a lot of campaigns, drug addiction campaigns, and during that course of time, I have met a lot of people who were struggling with addiction. Like Bari had said earlier, me and Bari, I think we've sat for over 4 to 5 interviews in the course of a few years, and I've had a personal glimpse of what his struggles were all about. At his at a all-time low, one of his one crucial turning point in his life was when Bari was standing on the edge of his building and contemplating to end his own life. And there was a truck that passed by the road which had a Bible verse on it, and that changed his life. That's Bari right there. So stories like that keep influencing us songwriters. So the song we've written, the song we wrote last year, was based on these kind of inspirations, based on these kind of stories, and it brings about the gravity of the struggle that that our friends are going through. So this song is for you, Babari, and for your friends. We hope it inspires you, and keep the faith.
Been riding on this one-way train with a way to get back home. Desperation, my only friend, a friend at every turn. The more I try to break the chain, the more I feel the pain. Chasing dreams has become a game, and suffer is my name. I need help, I can't do this alone. Look into my eyes, the life in them is gone.
I've been a slave to me, master. Broke the dreams of a hopeful father. Broke the heart of a loving mother. Threw it all away.
Lord. All right, thank you very much, Waveland, for that powerful performance. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our talented artists from the state of Meghalaya. Break these change. And now to speak on the topic prevention, early intervention and treatment, breaking the cycle of substance use disorders, we are honored to invite Dr. Sandadi Lingwa, psychiatrist, Meghalaya Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences of Mimhans, Shillong.
Yeah. Once again, a very good afternoon to all the officials present here, the Rangba Shnong, the head of the Religious Forum, and the VDPs and all the invitees. First of all, I would like to thank the Dream Mission team headed by the Mission Director Francis Karshieng for inviting me here to present on this theme, which is breaking the cycle, prevention, early intervention and treatment of substance use disorders. So, not to delay, let me start right away with this presentation. Yeah. So the session objectives will be for us to just to remind ourselves and to refresh ourselves with this question, what is addiction, why teens are vulnerable, the risk and protective factors, prevention, early intervention, treatment, motivation enhancement therapy, and relapse prevention. So now with introduction, we start off with, like, we know that drug abuse is a major public concern and it is associated with a lot of morbidity, mortality, disability and disease burden, and it ranges from experimentation to addiction. Sorry. And these adolescents, they are at risk of so many problems, and it also, because of addiction, it interferes with the brain development of the adolescent, and they are also very vulnerable to the other mental health issues and achievement in schools, and other problems related to addiction. Then, so I think we all know what addiction is. It's a, repeated consumption of a substance, and there is a strong desire to procure it. And then there's also a tendency to increase the dose, and because of this, there's a psychological as well as physical dependence. And this will lead to a problem where there will be so much of detrimental effect on the individual and the society. Then again, ultimately, these individuals will go into a withdrawal state when they either decide to decrease the dose or to cease the substance. So therefore, it is also a mental illness. Addiction is a mental illness. So now let's see the cycle of substance abuse. Usually it starts with a problem. The problem can be, it's either the person feels very sad or anxious, or maybe sometimes too happy. They want to release their happiness. So there's a problem. When you're too happy, you're also, yes? Oh, okay. Okay. So if an individual is too happy, that is also a problem. So when there's a problem, there's a feel that they need to act out. And when there's the feeling that they need to act out, so it's either they choose a healthy way to act out or unhealthy way. So in case they choose an unhealthy way to act out, they start acting out, then if there's a problem, if there's a problem that they feel sad or anxious, they may feel relief temporarily. However, this relief is very short-lived, and ultimately it will lead to consequences. So again, the cycle will start, and this is a cycle of abuse. Then we go to the cycle of addiction. Again, when an individual is addicted, when he or she starts taking the intoxicating substance, then they keep continuing taking it, then later on, they also experience the withdrawal or the negative effects. And because of this, they don't want to give up. They start craving for the drugs, and they are always preoccupied with the substance of abuse. So this is a cycle of addiction. Then there's a question, why do teens try drugs? Because we've seen in our practice that usually these people who get engaged into using drugs, they usually start off when they are teenagers or during the adolescent period. So this question is, why do teens try drugs? We all know that teenage is a transition period where the individual the changes from childhood to adulthood, which is during this stage that the child is very confused and they don't have answers. Then so many of them, they start getting engaged with friends who will lead them or will guide them into using drugs. And then again, during this age group, these children, they want to try out new things. They want to explore the world. They want to explore the environment. And then they want to gain independence from parents, from teachers. And then they also want, this is a time that they will start thinking about their job, or they want to seek partner. And then again, this is the time that they develop their own ideology and beliefs. So after this, let us understand again the involvement of the brain as a role, playing a role in this during this period, and why these teens are they get engaged into this bad habit of using drugs. So we will see the development of the brain from childhood to adolescence. So this is a picture of the brain. I don't know whether the picture is clear or not, but this is a brain scan which showing the picture of the brain from the age of 5 years to the age of 20 years. Here you can see the green areas and the blue areas. The green areas are the areas which are immature, and the blue areas, they are the areas which have attained maturity. So you'll see at the age of 5 years, there's more of the green patches, but by the time they reach 20 years, the green patch they have disappeared totally. So now these green areas, they are the immature areas, and they are the areas which is just like the sponge. You know, the sponge, it absorbs everything. If you keep the sponge in dirty water, the sponge will get dirty. But if you keep the sponge in clean water, the sponge will remain clean. So therefore, this is the age group where if you teach them properly, they will absorb your teaching. And whatever they have learned during this age group, they will never forget. So if they're misguided or somebody has misled them to use substances, these children, they are prone to get addicted to drugs, and it becomes very difficult for them to break when they attain adulthood. And this is the side view of the brain again. See, you can see, and this area is a prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for planning and for judgment. And then we come to the reward pathway. So inside the brain, there is this area which is responsible for reward. Now, these are all the pathways, the blue, the red, the green, the arrows, these are all the pathways. And this is inside the brain, whereby it is responsible when an individual experience that some satisfaction for what he or she has done or achieved, and this will make them repeat the behavior again and again. For example, if a child has done well in school, studied well, performed well, the next time the same child would like to study harder and to perform better in the next exam. them. So in the same way, if this child has learned that they get rewarded by using drugs, they feel good by using drugs, so they will repeat the same behavior, the same process and again and again by activating this reward pathway. And the main neurotransmitter involved here is dopamine, which we all know that dopamine is a high hormone. Then now we come to the causes of substance abuse. We all know environmental factors, family, friends, then again genetic. 40 to 60% of individuals using drugs, there's a genetic factor to that. Then there may be some co-occurring mental disorders like depression, anxiety, then bipolar affective disorder, where there's a two pole of either the high pole or the low pole. These are the risk factors for the individual to use drugs. And then what do we do next? After we have seen all this, and the question is, what do we do next? So in the previous presentation, Sir has presented about the risk factors. So now let's just see the risk factors again. What are those risk factors that we can predict that this child or this individual may go into drugs? They are like, these are the things which I have outlined here, but let me just focus on this line which I've mentioned here about intellectual disability or mental retardation, which we called previously, because these are the children who are very vulnerable to, to bad influence. So if they meet people who influence them in a wrong direction, they are very vulnerable and their judgment is very poor. So therefore we need to protect them. We need to engage them in some kind of activities so that they get involved in the good activities. Then again, there's another line here which, under family management problems, even excessive discipline, if we scold them again and again, and then we discipline them too much, it may even frustrate the child and make the child choose the wrong path. Then the last line, which are using gateway substances. What are the gateway substances? Because we have seen that individuals using drugs, they will not go to drugs directly. They usually start off with smoking, then again drinking occasionally, and then taking marijuana. So these are the gateway drugs or gateway substances which will lead to using heroin or opioids. Then now we come to the protective factors. The protective factors which they instill this resiliency in children. So again, academic success, then positive parental support, then teachers' commitment to moral instruction and maintenance of low dissension is very important. Then their positive self-esteem, self-concept, control, and then assertiveness and social competence and the sense of morality is very important as a positive factor. Then here we see the triggers. We have to be very careful with the triggers as well, because we can see that there are two types of triggers. There can be internal or the external. The internal triggers are stress, anxiety, depression, and the external triggers are movies, TV shows, certain people or locations which might remind them, or celebrations, and then sensory reminders. So these are the triggers. Then now we come to after we've learned the risk factors, the protective factors, and the triggers, so now we come to this part of prevention, early intervention and treatment, which is main part of the theme. So under the prevention, so first, how do we approach? We have to ask these questions. What are the goals of education and prevention? So I think the main goal for education and prevention is to maximize the protective factors and to minimize the risk factors. Then what education and prevention methods are effective? We cannot just adopt any kind of method. We have to be very careful in this point while giving education and implementing the prevention methods. Then when should we start? We should start as early as possible. The moment the child knows what is wrong and what is right, and then the moment the child enters this adolescent age, we need to start educating about the harms of drug use. then who should be responsible for this education and prevention? It's you and I. So we all are responsible for educating and in this preventing pathway. Now we come to the levels of prevention. Yeah, so we have 3 levels: the primary level, the secondary level, and the tertiary level. Under the primary level, here these are the non-users. So what I want to stress here is enhancing spirituality. Enhancing spirituality. You know, if we enhance spirituality in our children, I know that these children it'll be very, like, you know, they will run away from any bad company or bad habits. Like there's a proverb that says, the fear of God is to hate evil. And again, there's another proverb for us. The fear of God is to gives us the confidence to know that our children is in a safe place. So therefore, enhancing spirituality is very, very important. And then again, this line of personal and social skill development, assertiveness and refusal skills, we teach them how to say no without hurting their friends. There's another Indian proverb that says, you know, kill the snake, but do not break the stick. So we need to build that resilience in them, and then we need to teach them how to refuse assertively, but again without hurting their friends. Then peer mentoring, teach them how to choose their friends. Then we strengthen the family, strengthen school and family link, strengthen school and community link, then community support, and then again media advocacy efforts. Then the secondary level, here they are the early users or the experimenters. Then the goal is to stop progression. Then here, if we suspect, what do? First, we look for signs. If this individual has shown some change in behavior, then the personal hygiene is not maintained. Then again, they stop going to school regularly. They stop going to work regularly. Or even we may check their arms if we see some needle prick marks. Then, so if these signs are there, then we have to sit down with them and ask them. You know, to ask them is also like very important that we choose a proper time and a proper place. We just cannot ask anyone randomly, pull them on the road and then ask them randomly. We should know what questions we're going to ask, and we try to understand what they know about the harms of drugs, what they know about drugs. So this is how we ask them. Then after asking them, we just assess them. Then if it's the school teacher who has found out about the child using drugs, then the teacher will call, will have a meeting with the counselor and the parent, and then again will help them to develop healthy alternative youth culture, and then use the recovering role models which we all have today. Then in the tertiary level, here the individual is already dependent on the drug, and then the goal is to terminate or to reduce harm. So first we have to assess and make a diagnosis. That's why in the morning in the presentation of the Center for Evolution, Dr. Arwan has mentioned that we first have to send the patient either to MIMHANS or to civil hospital, meet the psychiatrist for assessment and diagnosis. Then there they do the detoxification with medicine. Then after that, we send the patient for rehabilitation, where they do the CBT and vocational training and many other activities. Then we also encourage the individual to join this Narcotic Anonymous Association. But in case these individuals are not ready to go to rehabilitation, we still have a way out for them. Send them to OST Center for at least harm reduction. Yes. So now we have come to this slide, motivation enhancement therapy. In the recent past, we have seen that when these drug addicts are they are being caught using drugs on the roadside or in any corner of the locality, they are just being picked up and dragged forcefully to the rehabilitation center, which is very unscientific. So therefore, we need to understand that the road to recovery, there are 5 stages. The first stage is pre-contemplation stage. So if we understand these stages, I think we will not do the same again and will make the approach more scientific and in a better way. So in this pre-contemplation stage, which is a stage 1, here the individual feel that they don't have a problem and they don't want to change. So therefore, do we leave them that way? Do we leave them and say, yes, this person doesn't want to change, so just leave him alone? No. Here we have to establish a rapport with them, we make friends with them, and then we try to know them. So again, during this stage, we try to understand these patients, how they understand about substances, then what problems they're undergoing. Then it is very important for us to avoid confrontation. We should not scold them, we should not be harsh with them, nor should we argue with them. There's no point. There's no point. Then I would like to stress on this last line, express concern and keep the door open. Because I would like to add that we don't win anybody by fighting or by punishment, but we win a person or any difficulty only with love. Love conquers all. I would like to quote one Irish spiritual leader, Emma Fox. Emma Fox wrote in one of the books this quotation, and I quote, there is no difficulty that enough love will not conquer. No disease that enough love will not heal. And no door that enough love will not open. So the key here is love. And with love, we keep the door open to our friends who have been into this trap of addiction. Then again, we come to the second stage, that is the stage of contemplation. Here, the individual will feel that maybe, yes, I have a problem. And so they're considering change, but however, they're still confused. So what is our duty? Our duty is to guide them. Yes, we need confusion is very important to every one of us. Whenever we have to make any kind of decision, it usually starts off with confusion. So therefore, we need to normalize this confusion stage, that everybody will go through this confusion. Then we guide the patient through the pros and cons, and we provide them with the correct information and resources. Then the third stage is preparation. Here, the individual will feel that, yes, I've got to do something. I've got to do something about this problem of mine. Then they are also motivated to commit to change. So our duty is to guide them. We guide them. We learn. We guide them through all these facility available. You know, in the morning we have seen that beautiful. That good QR code where all the rehab centers are being highlighted through that QR code. So in this stage, we can also show them that these are the facilities available, and you can do many things, and you can gain many things through these rehab centers. So we help them plan what steps to take to be adequately prepared for recovery process. Then the fourth stage is action. In this stage, they feel that there's a need to do something. During this stage, they will try to stop on their own, but because of the withdrawal effects of the drug that they've been using, they may fail again and again. But therefore, it is for us to support them and to help them to seek professional help. Then during this stage, we help them to engage in patient treatment care, and then we also have to acknowledge the difficulties, and however, through these difficulties, we support them and we give them the encouragement to continue with the treatment. Because the difficulties are, they will be facing the withdrawal problem, they will be facing, they have to go and stay in the rehab center for 3 months, 6 months, and somebody suggested even for 1 year. So they'll be far away from home. So these are some of the difficulties besides with the withdrawal effects of the drugs. Then the last stage, that is maintenance stage. How do I maintain the change? Here the focus will shift from preventing to preventing relapse. So in this stage, we need to involve the family members. We need to identify alternative activities which are enjoyable and purposeful and productive, not just enjoyable. If it's not productive, everybody will get bored with whatever they do. So therefore, we need to engage them in some profitable or productive work. Then we encourage them to avoid cues like reminders, like going to places where they used to sit down with friends and inject their drugs, and then reminders like, all those syringes and all. We need to help them to avoid these cues. Then we support the lifestyle changes. Then it is also very important during this stage that we have to think about the relapse. The relapse part also, because these addicts usually they keep relapsing. We have seen, we do get burnt out sometimes as mental health professionals when these patients keep coming to us again and again with the same problem. So therefore, during this stage, we need to evaluate and we have to think about the relapse prevention plan. Then we recognize the possibility of relapse and then forming a plan to help them return to sobriety, if the sobriety, for sobriety that it should occur. So now we come to the last part, that is relapse. Relapse. We all fear relapse because we think that, even I used to think that relapse is a sign of failure. We fail to treat people properly, and it's a sign that nothing can be changed. However, we see that relapse is not the end point. It is not the end point, but it is a sign that an individual's treatment plan need adjustment in some way or the other. Because relapse is not a single event. The relapse will start with emotions. Now, if the person or the patient feels anxious, or they feel left out, or they feel judged, or they feel that they're hopeless, so now they will start thinking that maybe I should go back to drugs. Then again, mentally, that mental relapse, that okay, if I try just once, nothing will happen to me. I think I can still get over it. Then finally they go into physical relapse, where they will not be able to come out again easily, and then they go back to that same cycle that we saw in the beginning, the addiction cycle. So therefore, we should be very careful to watch for the signs of relapse. The signs of relapse are divided into behavioral signs of relapse and emotional and mental signs of relapse. Then here we will see that they start skipping therapy if they are very regular with therapy or with a counseling session that they used to attend. I from what I understand is that most of the counseling centers and the rehabilitation centers, they used to keep a special day for them for counseling. And so if they start skipping these counseling sessions or the therapy sessions, then they engage in the risky situation, social withdrawal, then neglect responsibilities. These are the signs that they are going to relapse. Then again, emotional and mental signs of relapse, sudden mood swings, feeling hopeless. Then there's increased stress without healthy coping mechanism. Then their thoughts of drinking just or using just once. These are the signs of emotional and mental signs of relapse. So what are the common relapse risk factors? High stress level, work, relationship, financial struggles, Then untreated mental health conditions. There's always, usually, I think 80 to 90% of individuals using drugs, they have some kind of depression or anxiety. They must have come from broken homes. They must have come from families with single parents or with busy parents. So if they are left untreated, they again go back into relapse. And lack of social support, isolating from friends and families, then exposure to triggers, which I've mentioned earlier, or they're overconfident. Overconfidence and recovery. So this overconfidence is also another risk factor for relapse. So these are the strategies for preventing relapse. We build a strong support network, avoid triggers, we develop healthy coping strategies, then commit to ongoing treatment, then have a relapse response plan. Then we encourage them to practice these 4 Ds. One is delay. If there's a craving, we delay this craving for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Then again, we engage ourselves with some other activities to distract that craving. Then we practice deep breathing. Take a deep breath and hold your breath for some time and release slowly. We practice deep breathing, or we discuss our craving issues with the person we trust or who is able to help us. Anyway, the presentation is quite long. So if we have forgotten whatever I have presented earlier, let us remember this last slide, which is breaking the cycle of addiction. So we have to acknowledge that there's a problem, but it does not end there. We recognize the signs of addiction and understand its negative impact. We seek professional help and treatment options. Then we build a strong support system, caring friends, a family, or support groups that can offer encouragement and understanding. We identify the triggers and we address them. We adopt healthier coping mechanism. We enhance spirituality and embrace a long-term recovery plan. And if there's anyone who feel like, who's not confident enough to come in person, to seek help in person, we can always encourage them to use this toll-free number, which is 14410. This is a toll-free number. It's 24/7 available. The counselors are available. They can call anytime with any language they're comfortable, starting from Hindi, Nepali, Bengali, Khasi, Garo, Jaintia, any language they're comfortable. They can call the counselors and they can help if they have any issue concerning their mental health. So with this, I'll end my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your expertise with us. As a token of love and gratitude, we would like to present you a small memento. Ma'am Saloni, could you please present the memento? Thank you so much, Doctor. Can we have a big round of applause for her, ladies and gentlemen? As we approach the conclusion of today's observance, we now invite Shri Praveen Bakshi, IAS Commissioner and Secretary to the Government of Meghalaya's Social Welfare Department, to deliver the final remarks and the key takeaways from today's observance. Thank you.
Thank you, and very good afternoon to all of you. I'll not take much time because all through the day you have been through all these talks and you have listened to various viewpoints. You have got reports from the government. This is our team. This is the focus group. This is the think tank which remains here, which is with us. How did you like the program this time? Do you think we have made a tangible progress under DREAM in real outcomes? How do you feel? I'll just take a 1 minute feedback from you, and this will be the real takeaway for the next year. That how did you like the format of the the International Day Against Drug Abuse celebration? One key point which I can give from my side is that I think that 10 minutes CM Connect part did more good to us rather than the whole day. So it's reaching out to you, hearing from you, which really makes the day very special. We have to give you a chance, you a platform to speak. So this is just the beginning of a journey. It's a process. Please still feel free to write to us, text to us, mail to us, meet us. We are there in our offices. We have a program by which we would keep on supporting more and more rehabs. All of you are doing a fantastic job. I think you will need financial support. You will need support in cash and kind in both ways. Please reach out to us. Help us also try to work out ways so that the Social Welfare Department and DREAM is able to reach out to you and to help you. We are also quite scared to see what's happening in some of our schools, how this drugs has reached to the schools. It's very scary. So it's not just about college. When we see in rehab, we see our children, they are 12 years old, 13 years old. It's very scary that at such a young stage it has reached with maybe gateway drugs and other things. So this is a very big worry, and we have to think about it. We have to work about it. Women have a very, very crucial role to play. We have Madam Yamanlang CM here with us. She's working with all groups who are trying to break this cycle. And organized crime is happening in such a way that it has infiltrated all the sections. In fact, one of the most shocking news which I had seen some time back, that there was a pregnant lady who was also a drug peddler. So what forced her? What made her do this thing? I'm sure she must be having a very tough time and very tough circumstances. But these are the kind of shockers which we hear, which make us very, very worried. I'm very thankful to an MUF, Meghalaya Users Forum. From your input about 2 years back, I think, when did we had that event? Madam Manisha is here. Around two years back, we had this event here. 24. That was the first time you said that we are victims and how dare the world treat us like this, and we are being we are being charged, we are being assaulted, and we took up the stand that no matter who you are, pressure group, this group, that you can't take law into your own hands, and you can't treat this section of people who are also suffering in such a harsh way. So I think the turnaround of thinking has come, and therefore you have seen that there is a change in the way people look at you and all of us also. So this is something learning. These are learnings which this year I think the key takeaway from us is that we need to do more for the rehabs. We need to sit with you. We need to have more talks with you. We need to spend time with you to get your feedback and have, as the ministry says, one rehab center in each and every district is a must, and that if it is run by on public-private partnership, that also will be very good. We are also trying to get it on our own. So I think if there are any points to share, quick one. What do you think should be done next year when we do the celebration? Should we make it more of a consultative thing, like round tables, or we have like talk shows on themes? We will be very happy. One or two of you can. This is more like a feedback session, please. Yeah, please. Right. Okay. Right.
One of the problems that our friends who are addicted into drugs is detoxification center.
Detox center, correct.
At
So
least
we are working
one,
on it.
If in one district, a civil hospital in each district
Right.
is given a detoxification center.
Right. Absolutely. So that is something which we will take down. I think we have to work on it. From Health and Family Welfare Department also will be looking into it.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else from our friends, young friends? We can see young boys and girls. You are from which places? You work for rehabs, or you are in school, college? Do you think we should send a team from here to go to Punjab, to go to Kerala? Have you heard about the good things which are happening in Kerala? Kerala also is doing great. So, I mean, they also can learn from us. We also can learn from them. I think this is one way. Because, see, last time also when Mr. Khashing went to Kerala, we didn't make it all official trip only. It's not that, 10, 12 people jump into a flight and go and stay and have a good time for 7 days and come back. So we need to take we need to take the stakeholders, all fully supported, sponsored by the state government. So I think we'll be very keen to have you as part of the delegation which would like to go to, say, Punjab, if there is things to learn. Please.
So from my end or from the community end, we would like you to kindly involve consultation with more experts, especially when we're talking about Kerala and Punjab. Like I said, we from the community, we don't know anything about hepatitis C. So we brought in one person from we brought in Dr. Kanudeep Kaur from Punjab. She have had first experience working with drug addicts, and she's one of the very first female who worked in Delhi when no female was ready to work with drug addicts. So we have people like her in the forum, and we also have, when it comes to I also would like to mention that the PITS and DPS Acts that has been formed by the state government. So, no disrespect, but if legally I go and challenge PIT and DPS Act, I can still challenge it in Supreme Court. So when developing policy, I think we would need expert lawyers. I think on 2024, I think social welfare has brought in Srimati Tripti Tandon, who is also a Supreme Court lawyer, who can help us design with laws so that, the system doesn't come and bite us on our back. So those are the things, proper consultants from different areas, especially in Northeast, we have lots of consultants, experts. So I'm not saying that the state doesn't have experts, but when it comes to HIV, when it comes to hepatitis, when it comes to TB, I think so we're lacking away a bit behind than the other states in India. So we would need this consultant. So if we could, suggest these names, and if
we can get the names from you, and I think Mr. Khashing can reach out, Madam Saloni can reach out and get them. If they can't come physically, we can have VCs. So have you met Dr. Kaur, Mr. Khashing and our team? Oh yeah, good. So even before I called them out, they are meeting. So it's good. Please spend some time with her. We would like to learn from you, Dr. Kaur, what all has happened in different parts of the country. So I think this is great. One small thing to our friends of rehabs, we are giving you funds. We would like to get UCs, because that's how the government works. How you spend your fund, and also for the halfway home, please keep financial records from all of you. So please do help us, so that when we are able to give UCs, we are able to get more funds from the government. So that's very simple. Yeah.
One last thing. When it comes to all this program, I think we also need to start measuring our outcome. We don't have expert in developing MIS tools. So that
Okay. Right.
And MIS tools is very important so that we can track. I know a lot of money has been, put into this endeavor, which is a very noble endeavor. We will need these tools so that, by next year, we can show that this is the progress, these are the gaps, and these are the new innovations. So when it comes to MIS tools, reporting tools, all these also, so we would need good consultations with IT experts, and also because as far the community nor the people working in DREAM, with due respect, we don't have that expertise.
Okay. We'll get that. And we reach out to Madam Yamunlang also, Honorable Chairperson of the State Women's Commission. Ma'am, your legal cell which you have, that also, because I think you have the best legal team from what I think we borrow your team for our work also. So if they can work for anti-drugs and they can help us on the legal side also, that will be very useful, ma'am. Yeah, please.
So only one thing regarding the law with drugs and all. People in the street or everywhere, they say law is very, very weak. That is, if you talk about drugs, people, they say, what to do? There's no law. If you arrest now, only
they will get
few
bail.
days they have been released. then how many time they will arrest, how many time they will release. Then they say he should do something especially
Drastic.
those who supplier.
Correct.
If demand is high, then supply also is high. So only this thing, if you can control supply
Right.
and demand, that is very important. And if you go anywhere, only they pointed out the government about law. What's the use? There's no law for them.
Yeah, no, we will work on it. I think IG also has worked on it. They are trying to crack down because, like what happens in court. If it is proved in court that he's just or she's just a peddler, then they're easily able to get bail. But peddler has become user, so that is the thing. I mean, the fine line is now not there. You start with being a user, you become a peddler because you have to earn money to take care of your own needs. This is something which we are facing.
So I would like to respond to sir on people are talking that once you catch a drug addict or a peddler, you keep them in jail and in few months they come out. I think we should look at India's conviction rate. When we look at rapists, I think rapists has a 36% conviction rate, and murderers have around 57 or 58% conviction rate, while as a drug addict has 78 conviction rate in India. So to think that a drug addict is not being punished, I think we're the most marginalized community. Drug addicts are the most marginalized community. Rapists, 36%, only 36% are being convicted. Murderers, 56%. Drug addicts, 78%. So people who think that drug addicts are given away freely or scot free by law, that is not the case. You look at India NCB report. Drug addicts have the highest conviction rate in India. Thank you. Sorry, sir. I have to answer to that because people think we're drug addict. Police are helping us. Government are helping us because I saw in the news, government are helping us to sell drugs and all. There was one locality when I went to start a meeting, NA meeting. I think Nongra women group are here. When we went to start this NA meeting in Nongra, people, the one women group who is also the president of Nongra, she said that she have heard news from so many people in the locality that Bari is a dealer. Is this right, Bari? I said, yes, I'm a dealer. Not a dope dealer, I'm a hope dealer.
Okay. I think that's a good one. And we'd like to, I think Mr. Khashing is here. We already had talks. There can be more conferences which are theme based. I think citizens groups and all can meet. So we need to have more talks. I think we can't sit in our ivory towers and think that we are doing a good job. We have to really reach out. We need to have more consultative meets. We need to hear all people. Yeah, you can hear from Mr. Francis.
In fact, what Barry has been mentioning, and many people, we've already put this in place. I've already reached out to Bapol, to Madam Agatha Sangma and Kong Siem, Kong Simia. We are very soon, we're planning to have an intellect meet to have a discussion on the way forward for the government and for the DREAM mission. And we will be calling your friends. We'll be calling your friends, which you have mentioned, and I'll connect with Madam also. We will connect with intellects of the state and from others. We want to have a brainstorming on what is the way forward for the government and for the missions.
Thank you so much. I think mostly these are the thoughts which we wanted to share with you. We wanted to make it very quick. I think there is a musical band or something, so they'll also start playing very shortly. So we end here, but this is not the end. This is the beginning in a manner of speaking. We are all there for you. You have all our numbers. Please feel free to reach out to us, share your thoughts, views with us. We'll try to have you in our WhatsApp groups, the groups which have got funding from us. Please do the work well, because how you do, whether it is AWS, whether it is Seva in land, whether it is MUF for that Hope Center, that will define that how much of an impact the DREAM is making in the state. So with that, we come to an end and wish all of you all the very best. Yeah, sir.
One suggestion.
Yes.
When you call You just call them all the stakeholder or the Rambashnong or Sengantay. Don't keep the story of the drugs. It's enough story. Enough is enough. Then give solution.
Solutions, correct.
Give only one particular subject, give solution, no more telling the story, then give how to solve the problem.
Correct. All of us are part of one team. We are all part of one team. We will be able to work things out.
Another thing, sir, if you don't mind, I would like to inform. I've just had a discussion just now with Bapol and some MLAs who are here. I've requested Bapol to convene an MLAs meet in each district.
Correct.
We will be reaching out from the social welfare department and from the Dream Mission. We will have these meetings with the MLA concerned so we can better understand the problems that are in the constituency. Bapol has already taken a very positive note of it. I think very soon he'll be arranging something.
Absolutely.
And this is so we can address the issues in each constituency.
Right. Thank you then. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the key messages of today's program and takeaway, and also for reinforcing in us the faith and, of course, for the results that we are looking forward for a beautiful feature of the state of Meghalaya. We have now arrived at the concluding segment of the state-level observance of the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking 2026. To conclude the program, we shall have the state anthem presented by Khmer Creative Society. May I request members of the Khmer Creative Society to kindly grace the stage for the state anthem. And I request everyone to remain standing until the anthem is over. Thank you.
Hello, check.
Thank you very much to Creative Society for the beautiful rendition of the state anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all. We shall meet again next year with a new hope, with new hope that we get more positive results next year on this beautiful and august gathering. This is Adalbert Kaur on behalf of Shraddha. I want to say thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. As you enjoy your lunch, there'll be live performances of bands here, so you can go enjoy your lunch and come back. Thank you.
Thank you once again. It was a pleasure being your host. I wish you all a very, very good afternoon ahead. Please stay for the lunch. As my co-host has already mentioned, we have a live performance. Thank you once again. Kuble, Shibun, Mithela.